All right, so like I tried being funny and I put this thing on my head and the virtual background didn't like it, Dick.
I saw, which is crazy.
Like
It's not even green.
It was so frustrating. Like I like put it on and it was just my head was gone.
Yeah. Well, everyone knows I'm the funny one, so that was karma. So anyway, I'm back with B Squared. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.
Is it Monday night?
I don't know. Do we have any artwork I can fawn over?
No, I don't. I don't think so. But Philly, keep on loving. All right. It doesn't work. I'm just gonna put it away.
Yeah, my hair is doesn't like the green screen.
Yeah.
The red was a lot better.
My desk is a complete mess, so we're turning this off. Right? Send it back. There we are. We're back. We're back.
We're doing it live.
We're doing it live. Oh, Dick, you were literally on the other side of the globe.
Yes, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
I was in a whole new world.
Yeah, literally. And not in December, like in June.
Right. Yeah. It was fantastic. You know what? And if I do go back in December, a whole new world will still be legal. So
yeah, that's true. And you played a whole new world.
Yep, I did. This is a great time. I got to go in my time machine. Usually Japan is in the future. I got to go back to the past.
Yeah, like a whole year.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was so good.
All the way back to DLC Atlanta.
I got to right the wrongs of DLC Atlanta. I got to play my favorite deck.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, hindsight is 2020.
Yep.
Except when it's not. I named I made the thumbnail "Blast from the Past" because that just seemed fitting.
Yeah.
Not that you played that card, because who would?
I was gonna say, was that even legal?
No.
I think it's set 5. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's Shimmering Skies. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Question of the day: what's your favorite card?
My favorite card. I mean, it's got to be
Into
the Unknown.
Yeah.
I don't think it's close. I'm actually pretty interested in Sapphire Amethyst in set 8. I think it has some weaknesses, but that's life. But yeah, I think that card was a very key piece. I was very excited to see it revealed, and it's also my favorite Disney song. So it's hard not to be my favorite card when it's playable and unique and cool and good. So yeah, all the boxes. What about you? You finally played some set 8.
Yeah, mine is at the moment definitely Lady Family Pet.
A family dog.
Family dog, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't know how that's not Duel Link.
Yeah, I feel like that could have been flipped for sure.
I played a little bit with the Chernadogs deck with the 1-cost lady, and I hated her.
Okay.
Absolutely hated her. She was just always the most awkward, trying to get it to 3 power.
Okay.
Especially when I really want to use the tramps to make my 0/4s bigger to banish my opponent's character.
Sure.
But instead I'm inclined to make Lady bigger, to quest for more, and then she just goes away.
You're not inclined. There is this sweet mechanic in Disney Lorcana. It's called the Inkwell, and it gives you options. So,
No, I was inclined. It felt too good. No, I'm like, what? Lightning bolt? You gave me lightning bolt?
Yeah.
Except when you turn 1 lightning bolt at your opponent, it's not great.
No, normally you're you win the game with lightning bolt.
Yeah. So it was rough. The fact that she doesn't deal any damage back, at least Piglet, you're so excited to get 3 off Piglet,
right?
And then at least it deals 2 damage back when they challenge it.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of Piglet, when you miss a 1-drop and you play a Piglet and your opponent thinks they're safe, and then you play a Lady to play another 2-drop.
Yeah.
Nope, gotcha. Chuck Tesla.
Suck it. Yeah. Lady is unreal. The card's just so good. From the moment I read it, I was like, this card's just too good. Hard to say. We're going to be getting into it a lot here. Japan's going to cover up the first part of the show here for sure. But I guess off the cuff, what was it? By the way, fun fact, when I was creating the description for this video, it did warn me about using words that could get us demonetized. And it was your name. I wanted to let you know that.
You got to write Bick.
I did. I had to change it.
Yeah. I don't know if you saw, people are making names on the new Ravensburger hub.
Okay.
And
because you can't use Disney names.
Yeah. So if you just happen to be named Vinny,
I know.
I don't know what to tell you.
Burnt. That's crazy. Because who was it? Bobby, right? Bobby McHugh. He made a post about it. It's just nah, can't have my name. That's crazy.
I think we got a raid, by the way.
Oh,
and if so, thank you so much.
Welcome, friends. How are you doing? Welcome to the Twitch land.
Yeah, I couldn't believe Bobby couldn't use his name.
Yeah, when I saw those tweets, I was like, that's rough. I was like, thank God there's nothing named Dan, apparently.
I couldn't use the name Mr. Burns at Universal Studios for their Despicable Me game.
Huh.
Like I didn't even try putting my actual name. I put Mr. Burns.
Sure.
And that got flagged. And it's a Simpsons character, obviously. But like I'm literally Mr. Burns, you know?
Yeah, like that's
they said like even though they have the rights to use it in theme parks, anything Disney related is just automatically flagged at Universal. So yeah.
That's so weird. It's such a weird, like I get it, but I mean at some point you're like, come on.
Yeah. Like, I mean, obviously it's because people are trash and will write stupid stuff as their name.
Yeah, but like my problem with it is that it's like the opposite of what I want. I hate looking at a Melee link and seeing a bunch of random names I have no idea who anybody is.
Yeah, I was so shocked. I said that when I started playing Disney Lorcana, when I played Magic, everyone on Melee just used their real name.
Yeah.
So like I was completely shocked that like everyone just had fake names when I joined a tournament. But then like a lot of people that I talked to, it was their first card game. So they're like, "Oh, we thought this was like, you know, when you make an Xbox account."
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's weird because I guess from everything I remember, I always remember just having real names. I don't really remember like the whole like gamer tag thing was always, you know, that was in the digital game thing that was like but when it came to paper cardboard, it was always this is your name and like you go and you look for your name. It was never some username. So I think it's so weird to ban a bunch of names that just because like you I mean, there's a lot of Disney character names, guys. Like there's so many. So like
literally Joey is a pigeon, you know.
Right. He's like you know, like
yeah, maybe they'll figure it out. But yeah, Japan, I would say aside from Disney Lorcana, because the best experience was meeting everyone. But like I wouldn't have met all these people if it was not for Disney Lorcana. So for the average person, I mean, the food. I mean, come on. It's like the big reason I went. You know, anywhere that we go, I order the most weird, unique thing I could possibly find. I ate all those little birds in Toronto, the quail. That was a nightmare. But but like it's not something that you find in America very often. I like experiencing different culture through their food. So
Nate gets it.
Yep. Me and Pave
just answered your question, Kylie. Eating the food? Yeah, his favorite part was the food. That was the answer. Like she's giving you crap from the sidelines over here.
I know. I'm nothing but nice to her, and all she does is attack me.
I know.
All right, a tier list of favorite foods in Japan. You know what? Ramen is gonna be low. Ramen's gonna be.
All right, guys. So we're gonna continue the show, and
so I'm still a pho guy. Oh, we flipped. I'm still a pho guy. But I will say the ramen was better in Japan, obviously, than over here. People. So I don't eat fish. So I only had the American sushi. But people tell me that sushi here is better than in Japan, and I think that's because we had more sugar and salt to it.
Sure, I mean
that makes sense. Yeah, so the American palate is expecting Americanized foods, right? But above that, not gonna lie, the Wagyu, disappointment. I'd never had Wagyu before. People hyped it up way too much in my brain.
So for what is exactly Wagyu?
It's the fattiest, like most expensive cut of steak.
Okay.
It's these cows are fed olives, they're massaged daily. They live the good life, right? Okay. And it is heavily protected, Japan.
Okay.
It is, you cannot raise Wagyu outside of certain prefectures in Japan. But I mean, it was great and all, But it was like, just take a normal steak and also put a pat of butter in your mouth.
Okay.
Which, like, yeah, I can see the appeal,
Yeah.
right? But it wasn't like this life-changing thing that people make it out to be. And I think one of the things is it's so expensive, especially if you have it imported to America, that people want it to be better than it is.
Okay.
Like, you know, I always feel like, even movies, if someone took their whole family out to see a movie and they spent like $100, popcorn, drinks, everything.
Yeah.
I feel like they come away from that movie thinking it's better than it was because they don't want to feel stupid.
Oh, yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you invite your whole team over to try your favorite cheesesteak place and nobody likes it. Is it?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that, but
yeah. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll stick to picanha. I'll stick to the Brazilian steakhouses. That could also just be my palate that
it could
I'm
be.
used to. So,
and just
for
not
me,
garlic steak. It had to be better than garlic steak.
well, yeah, garlic steak's the cast off. What was wild, and I sent this to you guys, going through the supermarket and seeing Wagyu marked down. Like, because there it's just a normal life, right? Over here it's like this most exotic, amazing thing, and over there they're just like, yo, we gotta sell this stuff 20% off.
Got to go.
Yeah, and then we get into the things that were absolutely incredible. Curry. We went to a Japanese place in Miami, right? And I was like, yeah, I want to compare here to there.
You got the beer, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And the curry, incredible. The fried chicken there, absolutely incredible. First thing I ate, Family Mart fried chicken.
I had fried chicken for dinner tonight.
Fammy Chicky is what it's called. It's unbelievable. The thing that shocked me the most was my favorite food in Japan was yakitori, which is just like things on sticks.
Yeah.
It was so cheap. It was like each skewer came out to like 70 cents USD.
With like meat and stuff?
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I got chicken wings on skewers and they butterfly them and you can just pull the bones out. And then it's just like the crispiest, nicely seasoned, perfectly cooked chicken wing you've ever had in your life.
Yeah.
I tried unagi. I tried eel. No. Everyone tells me it's the best in Japan. If that was the best, don't give it to me anywhere else because it was rough.
It was bad in Japan. It's definitely bad here.
Yeah. So that one was a rough one. And then, like I said, I did try the American sushis, which were incredible, like Hamburg steak sushi, prosciutto with mozzarella balls and basil oil, Wagyu sushi, which was better than just eating the Wagyu because it had the rice.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I think the only time I've ever had eel would be within sushi.
Yeah. The sushi also incredibly cheap, maybe $1.20 a plate, and a plate had 2 pieces on it.
Yeah.
It was awesome because everywhere me and Liz went, we just ordered one of everything, and I would go pay with the credit card, and like I'd get a text from the bank, from Capital One, and it was like $15 charged to your card. Like, wow. Like our Wagyu meal, the day of the DLC, it was like a 6-course Wagyu tasting thing. One of them was cow tongue, which I've had cow tongue in Hispanic cooking. Tastes great. This was obviously not braised. It was served to us raw and we cooked it ourselves. Terrible. It just like tensed up so much. It's a muscle.
Yeah.
But that whole meal, which fed both of us and we were very happy about, including drinks and everything, was like $25. Because
it's like better than Canada.
Oh yeah.
Like I remember when we came in from Canada, I'm looking at the credit card bills. I'm like, man, that was so cheap.
I was gonna say, if you've been to Canada, you've experienced this a little bit.
Yeah.
But it's so good in Japan. they don't really have inflation. They haven't raised the prices of anything. What happened because of that is the yen versus the USD is very weak. So it was hovering between 68 cents to the dollar, or 68 yen to the dollar, to like 72 yen to the dollar while I was there. Yeah. So basically just look at anything, it's 30% off.
Yeah.
Which was unbelievable. Taking the train every day was like $1.50 each way. And we were going an hour. Like, I mean, last time I took the train into New York, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, even for me to take the train to the airport from where I live is like $14. So, like,
no,
and that's less than an hour.
And then, like, we just downloaded some card to our phones, and we just walked up, set our phone on a reader, and it charged us. Like, it was so easy.
Send it.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, that's the food. Cheesesteak sandwiches. I you know, it's funny. I had cheesesteak sushi. Yeah, there's photos of the sushi that we're gonna go over.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, you ready to start?
Well, I think someone got their time wrong, so we're gonna reverse real quick, and we're gonna bring on our guests.
I wasn't sure if you were gonna make them stay there the whole time.
I'm not gonna make them sit there for an hour. So you were not the only one that traveled last weekend.
Okay.
We had a wonderful friend, and he is a regular on the channel, in theory. Boom. He's not even looking at us. He's typing in chat.
I was writing, we can wait. Send me back, coach. I'm not ready. Actually, I'm ready, but still, we can wait. Really.
Jorge, how are you doing this evening, sir? Welcome to officially on screen on TFM. You were the unofficial team member that represented us in Disneyland this year. So
I was the +1.
Yeah, you were the +1, of course, but you were also there in style before the event. So nonetheless, Jorge's been around since, I don't know, I can't even remember a time without Jorge, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, DLC Atlanta, you were like, hey, you got to meet this guy. He's great.
Yeah. Literally.
You're right.
Literally. So you got to go on your own little adventure last weekend, and you went to the UK Games Expo. Just give me general reaction. Like, how was the weekend?
It was great. So it's the third largest gaming convention in the world, right after GenCon, which is the second largest. First largest is Spiels the Jar in Germany. Yeah. GenCon is in Indianapolis, Indiana. Very fun. It was in Birmingham, England.
Is that where it always is, or does it move?
I believe it's always been there, but it's actually relatively new, though.
Okay.
This was actually its 9th year.
Okay.
So it's actually impressive that it's been that big, because it was like a whole weekend.
Yeah.
And
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's Birmingham, but it's not like right in the city.
Right.
So the convention center, it's in the NEC. Right next to the airport. Very convenient. Lots of hotels nearby. Literally a place called Resort World. So lots of places to stay. I stayed in the city, though, in the hotel nearby in a Hyatt, but there's trains, subways. Sadly, definitely not as cheap as the ones that Dick was taking. But still not bad. £5 each way.
Okay.
And not too complicated to take. And at least the ones in the airport convention center, everything, they had attendance. So it's pretty easy to say, like, hey, I need to get to Birmingham New Street. Right. And they're like, okay, yeah, it's £5 and just go to this station and hop on the train.
Nicer than Philadelphia. Got it.
Yeah.
So, how is the city in general? This is like did you have any extra time to do any nice exploration?
Yeah. So city, I forgot about the stereotype that a lot of people think about at least London, that it rains every day. Did not rain any day.
Sweet.
Nice.
And
it rained every day here. Don't worry.
Okay. So yeah, it was a pretty modern city. Sadly, or at least inconveniently, it's on a hill. So
Seattle all over again.
In the morning, it was great because I was going downhill. I didn't have a lot of things in my backpack, but then going up, definitely more difficult coming in the afternoons. But very modern. So yeah, definitely more modern than you would think about a European city.
Okay.
Lots of different type of international cuisine. Let's just like different types of restaurants all around. Different types of people. Let's see. Just walking around. Like I said, the sun was going down really late. So like at 8 p.m. there was still sunlight. Pretty good light. Not a lot of cars, at least in the parts that I was in.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Because it was like 10-minute walk from my hotel down to the train station. People seem pretty nice. Lots of going out at night, pretty active. There's people, from what I've heard and seen sometimes in Europe, they tend to stay out and go out later. And that definitely seemed to be the vibe. Like I was coming in and I was like ready to go to bed, and people seemed to be like starting to start out. And I was just dead on my feet.
Second win didn't happen.
Oh no, I'm not, but good for them.
Yeah. So you were there for the release weekend of Reign of Jafar. What was that atmosphere like? For us, or for me, I should say, I was at Gen Con, when the game came out. And it's not the same, but it is a set release at a big convention with a fair amount of Lorcana players. I know that originally when the events came out, they were kind of like a soft capped, and then they got raised a little bit. So my guess is you were somewhere between 100 to 200 Lorcana players, like there probably in the area, at least throughout the weekend, maybe a little bit more unique individuals. But, what was that environment like? Did you have fun, meet some new friends, anything like that?
So there were definitely some interesting people. There was a friend of yours, Mr. Baker.
Yeah. And did you tell me he was a smelly rat?
I did not.
Come on, man. Come on.
He was there doing he was playing a few of the tournaments. He was playing the Palace Heist.
Yep.
He was playing as Jafar against people. So people had the chance to play against him and try and compete. I heard that the first people to beat him, though, were using their own decks. So, but that was fun. And I know that at least the first... so there were... Sorry, changing my microphone. Hope it helps.
No, you're right.
So there were 3 big tournaments for Lorcana where you could sign up, and then the side events. Big tournaments were... Friday and Sunday were sealed tournaments, and then Saturday was a constructed. And then the Friday tournament, at least I saw that content creator Spessy was playing, and he was streaming it.
Yeah.
I didn't really see him the rest of the weekend. I'm not very familiar with him, but I know that like that day they were allowing him to like set up the stream.
Yeah.
So he got that chance to do it, and that was cool for him.
Just like a bit of a shout out to the Ravensburger team over there. I actually was in contact with them for a little bit, and they kind of said the same thing to me, that like if I was going to go out, I could have had my own little space. I could have streamed the event. I could have sponsored and did like kind of just like hyped up the expo center itself. So I imagine that's what most of the creators there were able to do, which is really awesome. Like we don't have that option in North America. So when I had that conversation with Emma about it, I was like, oh wow, like that's kind of cool. Like that's nice that like they're kind of giving that freedom to the content creators over there. That's pretty sweet. yeah, I didn't get to watch any of it because I was working, but it is nice to see that like it did someone follow through with it. I know did Baker stream his heist stuff on Saturday, or was it just I didn't he did something later on, but I don't think it was at the Expo Center, right?
I don't think he did at the expo, but I think afterwards he was doing something online with
Yeah,
some other
I saw him
creators
streaming
or
a bunch
players.
because I think he was only there Friday and Saturday. I don't think he was
Yeah,
there Sunday. Yeah.
I don't think I saw him on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't. I think
And,
I remember talking to him. I'm pretty sure he told me he was only gonna be there Friday, Saturday.
and I think he was also doing some signings.
Okay.
And one of the artists was there too.
Mm-hmm.
I think Kenneth Anderson is his name. One of his big cards, at least partially, last set was the Scrooge, the legendary Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
So at least until the ban, it was a really big card.
Did
But
you?
he still has a few bangers.
Did you get anything signed?
I did not. I was planning to, and then I forgot to bring it. I was playing Steel Song, so I didn't have the Scrooge.
I would have went. And, was there any was there a dealer hall?
Oh yeah, so there was a big exhibitor hall. That was most of it.
Okay.
You mentioned you asked about how the release itself was.
Yeah.
And they definitely had a ton of product.
Yeah, like
They
so could you purchase boxes?
Oh yeah, you could purchase. They had everything, single boosters. You could get the Palace High starters, tropes. Definitely more product than I saw a lot of people having difficulty, at least where I live.
Sure.
A lot of them, like if you had bought things or at least pre-ordered them, you got your product. But besides that, a lot of other people had difficulty getting them.
Yeah, but this was also all at MSRP, right?
Oh yeah, it was all MSRP.
Right. So there's a little give and take there because the local game stores don't have to charge our MSRP. They're normally a little bit underneath, which is nice.
Mm-hmm.
But the idea that if you were there, and I remember saying this about PAX Unplugged in 2023, when Rise of the Floodborn was not easy to acquire, and we're like, listen, we could have spent more money than we did, So it is nice that when Ravensburger shows up to these conventions, that they are there with products. So if you need product, it's definitely there to have.
There was definitely available for everyone. They had tons of product, and like I said, everything for this and like past play sets. They even had some starter decks from set 1.
Okay.
And they brought since they were expanding to the Asian markets, and they had done like for China and Japan, at least the Mickey Mouse playmat, the Steamboat Willie. They did have that playmat too.
Okay.
So they had past playmats too. So that was a cool thing that people, and they were buying them. So yeah.
Was there a promo if you bought anything?
So they had for Palace Heist, they had Ursula Sleep promos that you could get. Also, if you spent 15 pounds or more on any purchase, you could get a Anna Icebreaker promo, but that's from set 7.
Right.
And you could, they had a little wheel that you could spin. And if it landed on win, you could also get an Aladdin promo card from set 6.
Okay.
And then there was also a Goofy for the new set. But that promo you got for playing the demo.
It was Goofy.
That they had next to the stand.
I thought the set 8 promo was Pluto. It's Goofy.
Oh yeah, sorry, I meant
Pluto. Okay. I was like, I'm pretty sure I thought it was Pluto, but all right. Okay, cool. Yeah. So you got those for the sealed events, or did you also get it for the Saturday event?
So that was like for purchasing. For playing, you got the Aladdin.
Okay.
So that's for the sealed and the constructed event.
Yeah.
And then if you were top 16, then you got additional pricing.
Oh, okay.
But for the construct event, you also got like a goodie bag.
Okay.
Which included some booster packs. And and then there were also like the side events, which were just like pods that you could join throughout the periods,
Yeah.
and as long as they got filled, you could go in. They had your favorite, the Pack Rush, but the prices were very limited.
Yeah.
They're like Into the Inkland booster packs.
Oh, great. Totally
Yeah,
need those.
exactly. But then they also had draft, Reign of Jafar draft,
Yeah.
a constructed
Mhm.
pods, and one more, which was kind of like, I think, Chaos draft too.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
those were all 8 people.
Okay.
Where if you went 1-0, you got a Aladdin.
Okay.
No, that one you got the Anna
Oh,
promo. You got the Aladdin promo just for joining, for
that's
participating,
it. Yeah.
and then going 2-1,
Boom.
you
If you
got
go
We
two
lost
and one, you
it.
freeze.
and you got 2 Into the England booster packs. They love Into the
Oh,
England.
man. They're big spenders. We got it.
And if you went 3-0, you would get a 2024 convention playmat.
Okay. Oh, 2024?
Yes. So 2025 you could get if you got top 8 in the big tournaments from each day.
Interesting.
I'd rather have 2024.
I wonder. Huh. Okay, that's interesting. The Aladdins make sense to me because I'm pretty confident that they didn't have a set 6 convention. I think over in Europe, the only way to get the Aladdin was if you went to EUCC. So I think aside from that, there wasn't really an opportunity for EU to get Aladdins. Because I remember for us, while they were EUCC, we had PAX Unplugged. And I mean, I had like 100 Aladdins. So, so I think that that's probably why they got one. Just like how I feel like for us at Gen Con this year, we'll probably be able to get Annas because there is no convention in the first 7 months of the year to get an Anna. That's why I kind of predict that like it'll be similar for us at Gen Con where we'll hopefully be able to get those Annas. But yeah, it's interesting. So you were only able to get 3 Plutos, period. There was no other way to get him.
Actually, I just got one
Oh wow.
from
Okay.
because I only entered one draft.
Okay.
So I did try to enter a constructed pod,
Yeah.
and then they gave me a little vibrator, a buzzer. Sorry, that it was like, oh, because you have to wait for them to get filled up, the pods, before you can actually play.
Okay. Like you
Like
get
when you go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
So they gave me the little vibrator thing, and then I was like, oh yeah, and like, oh, can I walk around? And they're like, yeah. And it's like
the buzzer. Yeah.
Can I walk around everywhere? And they were like, yeah, you can walk around everywhere. So it has a good range.
Okay.
They were wrong about the range because it was so. Like I said, it's become a very big.
Yeah.
It's a very big convention. So this was in Hall 4. They have 1, 2, 3, 3A, and 4.
Okay.
And this was like towards the end of the day. They weren't doing drafts anymore. So
Sure.
I thought, okay, so maybe this just isn't gonna happen. So I was walking around and I had it in my hand. Like I didn't want to risk it starting to vibrate and me not hearing it. So I was walking around, did a lot of other things, and I come back and it's like, oh hey, yeah, I guess this isn't happening, right? Because it never vibrated. And suddenly they're like, oh no, we called you like 3 or 4 times. It never vibrated. I was like, what? And then they like shake, and I was like, working. I was like, oh, I guess the range wasn't good because I went all the way like towards the bottom, almost at the exit, because I was like checking everything out. And like I said, it was always in my hand. So that was my chance.
Wah.
Can I just jump in here real quick for this? Yeah. No, thank you all so much. We're going to talk about it in a little bit, but thank you. I appreciate everyone that I met.
So aside from Disney Lorcana, what fun stuff did you get into?
So one of the other big events is if you're into like tabletop playing games, so like Pathfinder, Dungeons and Dragons, D&D, Dan and Dick. Uh, the people at Critical Role, which are big Dungeons and Dragons content creators,
That's cool. That's cool.
they released a game that's also a tabletop game.
Yep.
Called Daggerheart.
Yep.
And I didn't get the chance to buy it because the company, like, they just had product for the first day and it sold out really quick. It's like sold out worldwide.
Yeah, yeah.
But I did get to book a session, and like Sunday afternoon, like towards the end, everything was over.
Yeah.
3 o'clock came in, went out the hotel, went past the Vikings into the Hilton, and got to play a session, a one shot. So that was fun.
Cool. That's cool.
Awesome.
Yeah, I've met those guys. They're awesome. They did like a set at PAX Unplugged a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I got to meet them. They were really cool.
Oh, nice. Awesome. But did that and then got to play, explore, see some other games. I saw them play it, but I got to see a Gundam TCG game that's come out recently.
Yeah, I don't know that it's out yet.
Okay. They were demoing it?
I think it's still in demoing.
Okay. So yeah, they were demoing it by the Bandai.
Yeah.
I mentioned I'm like interested in One Piece, so I was also looking at that. Made some acquaintances with the Ravensburger people, buying some things from them a lot.
Yeah.
Got to buy some other games just from some people.
Sick.
Got to Galactic Cruise from Darwin Press, just like a big monstrosity of a game. Took up half my suitcase.
On the way home? Yeah.
Sadly, I bought it the first day early in the morning, so that was a mistake. Because
you don't know. What if it's sold out? What if it's sold out?
Yeah, but
you gotta buy it, bro.
Heavy. It's heavy.
I got you. Trust me, I get it. But you gotta listen at these conventions. You don't. Sometimes you don't get what you want unless you get it early. So
I know, but did that. Met some great people playing games. The judges were really nice. Everything was very well organized. Everything was starting on time. Lots of places just to.
Was there?
They had like people with flags on their backs.
Okay.
So that they had like people's on their flags on their back, like informational booths or just informational people.
Oh,
like, ask me.
Checkpoints.
Quest givers.
Quest givers. Yeah, quest givers. Yeah. Was there a bunch of travelers? Like, did you meet people from like kind of all over the world?
Most of the people I met, at least playing Lorcana, were British.
Okay.
I met, I think, 1 or 2 German people.
Okay.
1 Spaniard.
Okay.
I think that was mostly it.
Okay.
I was the lone guy from the Caribbean.
Sure.
Actually, apparently one of my last opponents knew me by reputation because of my dice. They're like, "Oh, you're the Puerto Rican guy with the metal dice."
Wow, there you go.
Huh? So I was like, "Oh, cool."
Coming up in the world.
Yeah, right. Recognized.
Slowly.
Very, very funny. Very, very fun. Well, I'm glad you had a great time because that's really what was most important. And I'm still and will always remain very jealous that you got to go and I didn't. But, life is life, and maybe next time. We'll see.
I mean, I've said that I at least enjoyed my time there. I wouldn't mind going. Like, Birmingham was where the English DLC was.
Yes.
So
it was the same weekend as Vegas because I remember before they announced the dates for it, Dick and I had thought about going, and then they announced it. We're like, "Come on, come on."
Yeah, flights to Vegas are too cheap to pass.
Oh, definitely.
It's like, come on.
But I wouldn't mind going back to the city for like another type of convention or DLC, like that type of event, or if they did like another LCQ Nats over there. It was a very enjoyable city, and people have asked me about the food.
Mm.
Like England has like again another story about English food being bad, and it's like maybe English food is bad, but that doesn't mean that the food in England is bad.
Sure.
Because there's like a wide variety of food, a wide variety of people, you know. So
yeah, very fair, very fair. So there was one particular question for you, and it was TFM Kylie. When can Jorge and I meet and become best friends?
I mean, I told you I'll be there soon.
Look at that,
Uh,
live and in color.
yeah. I'll be visiting you guys soon. I mean, unless you're touring.
I don't think so. I think when you're going to be here, it's going to work out. But
Awesome.
there's something that's happening that might interrupt us.
Oh,
Can't announce it yet. I don't have all the details, but
well, we'll see.
we'll see how it falls. We'll see. How
Hopefully,
it falls.
we'll get to hang out, get some cheesesteak sandwiches.
I don't know what a cheesesteak sandwich is, but we can get cheesesteaks.
We'll see. Scott said that he'd take us. Dad said he would go.
That's it. Dad said it. It's happening. That's life.
Bick,
There's no other
are you
choice.
coming?
I mean, I don't know when this is, but hopefully.
Okay. We'll send you the deets.
Okay. You can ask Dan. There'll be times where the team is just like, yeah, this is happening. I'm like, oh, it is? Okay. Sure, I'm there.
Yeah.
I'm lost at all
It
times.
just shows up like, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I don't even
show up.
know. I don't even know if Dick's coming to the World's party yet. I don't even know. He hasn't said a
Right.
word.
I don't know
about it.
either.
You mean the
I don't even
DLC
know when it
Lorecast?
is. What?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Did you mean the DLC Lorecast?
Well, you know,
Oh.
That's what I'm there for.
it'll
Yeah.
be great. I thought it was interesting that it's starting at 8 a.m. I was like,
Oh wow, really?
yeah, they announced that today. That it starts at 8 a.m. EST. I was like, oh, okay. We gotta be ready for that. All right.
Well, better than
I
Australia.
guess we'll be seeing them as they build the decks.
I gotta get
Super
to
Seal.
Scott's house real early that day, which means I gotta get up real early that day.
That's in like 3 weeks, right? That's
Yeah.
soon.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Before we know it. And then we'll get to see you in Texas.
Yeah. Me and a bunch of other rowdy guys, apparently.
All right.
Guys and gals, you know.
That's
Guys, gals, pals.
good to hear the traveler. Hey, listen, PPG of Miami. I know who the winner of that was, and I know he was from Puerto Rico. So he was from Puerto Rico. You guys represented PPG Miami so well. You got to come back. All right, this is the return tour. Got to run it back. All right, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
We're having one of the qualifiers here in about
Nice.
soon, so you know.
Our qualifier is on Sunday, so I'm excited for it. It'll be streamed
nice.
on the channel. So if you want to watch some new Set 8 gameplay, it'll be here, guys.
Nice. Okay.
But yeah, any last questions for Jorge here, Mr. Bick Durns?
No, I love Jorge. I talk to him all the time.
Sounds good. Thank you for coming on and telling us a little bit about your trip. We were supposed to be there. It fell through. Didn't happen. Pretty upset about it.
Is that why you weren't answering my messages?
Yeah. That's why I couldn't meet you at any of the events, and I didn't do very well at any of them because I didn't play in them. So
I kept sending messages to the group text. To the group
like, hey
chat,
guys,
and no one answered.
Hey guys, I got my badge. Where are you guys at? I'm just like, bro, like, why are you doing this to me? Like, why are you doing this to me?
I thought you guys were hiding from me.
Yeah, the whole weekend. The whole weekend.
I mean,
I was
Wasn't
hiding
the
all
first
the way
time.
in Asia. So
yeah, I knew where Dick was.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
I have him lowjacked. I know where he is at all times.
That's fair. You got Find My Friend with Dick, right? Yeah.
yeah, he hugged me. He hugged me that first time I met him.
He Apple tracked you?
Yeah, my book bag been being tracked the whole time. Oh man.
Well, thank you very much for coming on, and yeah, we'll talk to you again soon, Jorge.
Okay, great.
Adios, sir.
See you guys.
I'm gonna get yelled at. I didn't mention beef bowls.
How dare you?
Liz was looking forward to the beef bowls so bad. For those that don't know, it's like, I don't know, 8 ounces of rice and then like 4 ounces of shaved beef. Think like cheesesteak meat, basically.
Sure.
In sweet soy sauce, sauteed with onions, so just like cheesesteak, and topped with cheese.
That's a lot.
Essentially a cheesesteak. They just replaced the bread with rice, and this is like Japan's equivalent to the value menu at McDonald's. So these bowls came in at like $3 USD.
Yeah.
Like
I just want to say that I noticed it,
insane.
but I didn't understand it.
I also saw it, but didn't. Yeah.
We didn't get it.
Appreciate it.
Too funny. All right, so Japan was like a lifetime ago. Wow.
Yeah, I've been sleeping ever since, basically.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Boom.
I have to go to that tab now. Yeah, so I started making slides. Also, jump scare.
Yeah.
Started making slides, and it was like 50 slides. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I'm just gonna... Unfortunately, when I sent myself all these photos, they weren't in order because I was like, oh, I'll just order them on the slides.
Oh yeah.
So we might bounce around a bit. Apologize for anyone with motion sickness. We're bouncing around a bit.
Okay.
But
we got some Madam Mims in the house.
Yeah, the trip to Japan really, and I've said this on the podcast, it really started maybe 2 months ago.
Yeah.
When I knew for a fact that I was going, and I was like, oh, I'm a big guy. Japan is not made for big guys, right? We talked about this a couple times. Dick's big in Japan. No, Dick's big everywhere. So these photos were taken 1 year apart. I told everyone, as soon as I'm in my house and I have a reason to, I'll cut the weight. So I cut a lot of the weight.
Fair.
So that was awesome. Thank you. And then in Japan, shockingly, only gained back 4 pounds.
Yeah.
I was expecting it to be way worse. But just like how Jorge had to deal with steps and inclines and hills and stuff like that.
Stairs.
It was just as bad. It was just as bad in Japan. So first thing I did when I got off the plane was get Family Mart fried chicken.
Yeah.
Family Chicky. And then the second thing I bought was one of these viral cream sandwiches.
What is that? Is that a mandarin orange or something?
Peaches, pineapples, oranges. There's all different ones in all different gas stations.
Okay.
The fried chicken.
That's a gas station food? That looks way too nice to be a gas station food. Come on.
So that's
a fun question. What did gas cost?
Oh, gas was so expensive.
Yeah?
Yeah, but they're on an island. So it's hard to get it, I'm assuming. And I think they have to buy it from Russia.
Okay.
But yeah, it was like 180 yen a liter or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. So
it was expensive in Canada too, I remember.
Yeah. It was. But yeah, so we're sponsored. We're sponsored by Tokyo Treat, right?
Quarter boxes.
And their theme this month, which we haven't gotten out yet, is actually these gas stations. Because they are a massive part of Japanese culture. What's it called? So like every morning there in the town that I was staying in, there'd be like 100 people walking to these gas stations and convenience stores just to buy like sandwiches and stuff and walk back home. Okay. Yeah. Everyone after work, you see them get off the train, walk right into Family Marts.
Right.
Yeah. So, and Family Marts and 7-Elevens and all that, people say like, oh my God, the 7-Elevens in Japan are just like a step above everything. It's like, well, actually, they're just a step above America, because America convenience stores are trash. They're still considered the low end in Japan.
Okay.
But Family Mart is where it's at. Fried chicky. These were like $1 USD.
That's crazy.
This sandwich is like $1 USD.
Crazy.
Yeah, these things go viral all the time on TikTok and Facebook and stuff like that.
That is the neatest sandwich I've ever seen in my entire life. And you told me it was sold at a gas station.
Right. And some places are trash and they put just the fruit in the front and then the back has nothing. This is full all the way through.
All right, then.
Interesting thing, the cream was not sweetened whatsoever.
So it's just like
it's just whipped cream without sugar.
What did it have flavor?
Almost no.
Okay.
It tasted kind of like milk.
Okay, because I don't even like whipped cream. So like I'm just like, what does this taste like?
Yeah. So I mean it was divine. It was lovely.
Okay.
And then the next thing I did was go find my deck.
Yeah. We needed it into the Inclines cards.
Right. I had everything else. Thanks to you. Thanks to Scott. Big shout out to Ben and Melissa.
Yep.
That was absolutely awesome. What's it called? And most of the stores had signs that say, like, don't take photos in here. So I only took photos where there were no signs.
For like a second here.
Okay.
This is the first store you went in.
Yes.
Okay. So the first store you went in had singles for Disney Lorcana.
Yeah, this was all of them. And every other game was significantly more.
Okay. But still, how many local game shops have you been in North America for Disney Lorcana since it's come out?
Yeah. So that's one thing that I definitely wanted to talk about was the culture around trading card games in Japan. It is life.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Tom is a teacher. He was saying like he doesn't know a kid that doesn't play card games.
Yeah.
In his school. And we're going to get to that even more later, like one aspect of that. But like a big thing was like you found trading card games everywhere.
Okay.
And not only that, they were really easy to get into. Like I loved it. I bought Dragon Ball decks for my thrift store. They were 300 yen. That is 210 American.
I'd say like 220.
Yeah. I found Pokemon decks that were 500 yen.
Yep,
like $3.50. Yeah. It is so, I think it is such a good thing that children have such easy access to trading card games. I think that trading card games are incredible for learning. Mm-hmm. I think they're a good way to keep people out of trouble. I think they're a good way to meet people. I think trading card games can be something that is a very good thing in people's lives. And I think it's great that like you're 7 years old, you and your friend could go buy 2 Pokemon decks and you can like actually afford them,
Yeah, it's funny because, I remember growing up, like my stepdad would always give us crap, he'd be like, "Oh, you guys are always in the house, yada, yada, yada. You're always blah, blah, blah." And then I remember like, later on in my, specifically like in my early 20s when I was starting to do really, really well in trading card games, I was like hitting my stride and like really being successful. He would be like, "Man, I was so dumb for like yelling at you all those times for being inside. You're like, you made such a life of this." And he goes, "You still have like your friends." Because I don't have any of my friends when I was a kid. You still have like all these people you still talk to. And it is funny because you just create these bonds that you can always go back to. And you're doing it like literally in your kitchen table. Like, yeah, we're nerds. We get it. All right. I understand we're nerds. That's great. That's fine. But it does, it keeps people out of trouble. Like I wasn't out on a Friday night doing something I shouldn't have been doing, like I was playing Magic, so
yeah, we were getting F&M promos.
Yeah, we're getting F&M promos. Exactly. Like I was beating 35-year-old men in F&M, so
yeah, Liz is pointing out my dad was the same way.
Yeah, like literally, like my stepdad just did nothing but just give me the worst business ever as a child. Like, how dare you not want to go out and ride a bike or something? It's like, bro, leave me alone. Yeah. But it is nice. It's crazy because like, I don't know. I feel like American is very sports oriented, right? Like we're massive in sports. It's not to say that other cultures aren't. But I feel like we really push these things, especially in that age, and like for the generation that like our parents came from, they were very much pushed towards sports. I feel like now it's not as much anymore. Like me, I'm never gonna make my kids play a sport they don't want to play. Like it's never gonna happen. It also might just be like a culture thing for me. Like I was forced to do things that I didn't necessarily want to do, so like I'm not gonna be that parent. But it's interesting to hear that this is just it. Like this is like you said, Tom's a teacher, and every kid in his school plays a card game. That's crazy. We just talked about this not too long ago. That whenever we talk to our store owners around here, they're having a hard time getting kids to even get in the store, to like look at a card game. And this idea that Japan is just like, no, this is just it. Like, this is just what we do. It's a way of living. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And like, so we went to the dollar store. There was a dollar store pretty close to our apartment. There were games at the dollar store had private labeled. Like the game was made for the dollar store. Which 70 cents. Not only that, you could buy sleeves. You could get 2 deck boxes for $1, like the cheap Ultra Pro ones, but they were dollar store branded.
That's insane.
Disney dice bags. I bought some. I brought them home. Yeah, for $1. Like, well, 100 yen. Sure. It was incredible, honestly. Like
picker's dream.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you've loved trading card games your whole life, you were meant to be in Japan. Oh god. All right. How do I add this back to the screen? Oh, I got it. Oh, there's me too. All right. And then as you can see here though, no commons and uncommons.
Okay, was there a bulk box?
Yeah. We'll get to that. If I had them in order, we'd be there. But just keep that in mind. Then the very next thing that we did after checking out the first card shops was we found a shrine. This was a shrine to Confucius. And it was breathtaking. It was absolutely breathtaking in person. And we just happened upon this. Like a lot of people offered me like their itineraries.
Right.
A lot of people were like, hey, I've been to Japan. Here's all the things I would check out. And hopefully no one was offended because I didn't take anyone up on this, because all I was thinking is, it is Daiso. That's so funny. A lot of people were offering me this, and all I could think is, I've never been to Japan. No matter what I do, it's going to be my best experience in Japan.
Sure.
I don't need to do like the top of the line must do before you die stuff the first time I go to Japan. Like Liz would like to go on a cruise. I said, let's take a $300 cruise to Canada. She's like, what? And I'm like, it's going to be the best cruise we've ever experienced. Right? You don't start with Disney Cruise Lines and then go backwards.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. So right across the street was another temple. I tried not taking photos of people's faces.
Yep.
Otherwise, I'd have a lot more photos. But at this temple specifically, there was actually this was the first time that I was like, you know what? I'm gonna put us back up real quick. This was the first time that I was like, wow, America sucks. I'm gonna be honest. So it was absolutely gorgeous. There's no graffiti, there's no trash anywhere.
Right.
In fact, there's not even trash cans like anywhere in Tokyo. People carry book bags and tote bags, and they put all of their trash in their pockets and in their bags. And when they go up to 7-Eleven to buy something, they unload into their trash cans. But yeah, I wasn't finding like garbage and stuff all over. Nothing was defaced, stuff like that. And there was like daycare that had kids in these little wagons, and oh my god, they were adorable.
Sure.
They were all dressed like tadpoles and frogs.
Yeah, that's adorable.
Yeah, like bright green outfits with little frog hats. Unfortunately, all of them are also wearing signs around their neck in plain English that said, "Please do not take photos of us."
It's crazy.
And I mean, it's written in plain English. So who's that for? It's for the tourists that are like, why would you think you should take photos of children and post them anywhere? You know?
Yeah. I'm sure it's because they want to show their friends at home all the cute tadpole pictures. Like, I get it.
Right. But I can, so I'm just going to explain that to our fans out there that was what happened. And you can infer.
Yeah.
They were in their little lines holding hands.
Like, just because I got to get the visual, right? Like, how big was this sign that said, "Don't take a picture of me"?
Huge, because they were.
Can you imagine having to put around your 5-year-old child a sign that says "Don't take a picture"? I mean, like,
and they were on the wagons and everything.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Man, us Americans, how dare we?
Yeah, it was rough. It was only written in English.
Yeah.
And that's when I like started to realize why people might not be so accepting of me being there. And it's because when people so like it's because when people think of tourists, they think of, Logan Paul and stuff like that.
Yeah, sure.
Which is unfortunate. But anyway, moving on. All right, back to this view. I took a pic. I don't play Warhammer. This entire store was just a Warhammer store and restaurant, and I'm sure we have a lot of crossover fans out there. So that blew me away.
Did you go inside?
I did not. I have no interest in Warhammer.
Okay, I would have just looked at the cool figurines.
Yeah. So this was the first card shop that I went to that had a play space. My God, how amazing is this play space? Like, there was seating for probably 50 in there because it went to the left further. Yeah, but like, imagine any store dedicating this amount of money to like, this is in like one of the busiest parts of Tokyo.
Right.
So like, it's expensive for floor space. This was also inside a 9-story building that had like 8 card shops in it.
That's a lot.
Yeah. The top building was actually Big Magic, which I did take a photo in there as well. But yeah, I mean, I just thought this was beautiful. Here's a photo from Big Magic. I have not seen some of these cards in person in 15 years, especially this Urza's Destiny Angel promo. I was just shocked by the value now. I don't know the conversion off the top of my head, but 480,000 yen, 70% of that, if it were pennies, is the value in USD.
Seems like an okay number.
Yeah, it was insane. Like when I worked for Nick Koss, I have like held these cards before.
Right. Like a lifetime ago.
Yeah. Here was a shop that was selling decks that they had made. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, this is like a little deck profile of like the people in their store.
They just like had these cards.
Oh, so they had the cards and they just sold these.
They're selling these as a full deck, and there's a deck list and everything.
Okay.
I thought that was just a pretty cool idea.
I feel real bad for the people buying that band deck right there.
Yeah.
There's at least 2 cards on there. Like, I wouldn't ever put that in my deck, but all right.
Yeah. I don't even know if this was like discounted in any way or if it was just the cost of the cards. But I thought this was pretty funny. And most stores I went into had a couple decks on display like this. Okay.
Okay.
All right, now we're into the
other side of that, dude. How about that?
Now we're into the sushi. That's not real sushi.
Okay.
So this one was prosciutto with mozzarella and basil. Oh my God, it was unbelievably good. Again, like all of these sushi are like $1.10.
Did you at least feel great because you could actually use the chopsticks?
Oh yeah. You know what's funny? You know what's great? We walk into this one. We walk into this one, and they don't speak any English. Okay,
Yeah.
we specifically looked for places that were chains because I know that they will have iPads
Sure.
and conveyor belts. I don't want to inconvenience people
Sure.
by
sure,
me
sure.
trying to explain to them what I want.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. I don't speak Japanese.
Yeah.
So they walk in plain English. Fork there. Like,
And this would have been me. Thank you.
I'm just like, oh, thank you. But anyway, yeah, this is probably a good point to talk about how I actually communicated with people.
Okay.
So I only knew 2 words.
Sure.
Well, I only used 2 words. I know more words, but arigato, thank you, and sumimasen is excuse me or please or I apologize. If you just know those 2 words, everything, you got everything. Like if you walk into a convenience store and the employee is probably working out on the floor, first convenience store I had to walk into, I already had to test Japanese.
Yeah.
They're probably out on the floor. And if you're in a restaurant and you want to, oh, there you go. Sploosh been to Japan. He knows what's up. If you're at a restaurant and you want your server, they don't check on you.
Okay.
You yell, sumimasen,
Okay.
from across the restaurant, and they'll come to you.
Wow. Could you imagine doing that like in America?
I know. People
Like
would be like,
you would get
this guy thinks
you
the
would get
world
you
revolves
just,
around him.
like get elbowed in the throat or something. You know?
Yeah. So I walk in, I want, fami chiki.
Yeah.
And I immediately have to go, sumimasen. And then he go, oh, and comes over. Yeah, if you're ever in any store, the first thing they're gonna ask you, do you want a bag? Okay. So as the first question they ask you, you just say no.
Okay.
I had no idea what they were saying the first
Is that
time.
to go?
No, like bags cost a penny.
Okay.
So like every store they offer to sell you a bag immediately.
Okay.
What's it called? Yeah. So if you know those 2 words, you're good. Yeah. So back to this one. Boom. Yeah. So this was funny. Liz is gonna jump in the comments and be like, "I hate you." This is omelet sushi.
Okay.
And the omelet is cooked in dashi broth.
Okay.
And they're like, Japan is renowned for their eggs, right? They have the eggs over rice that's runny. It starts with O. I can't think of the word right now. They have these omelets. They have the rolled omelets. That's what this is. So I had been telling Liz for like a month, I'm like, I think you're going to love this. She's like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm not. She's like, I like eggs. I don't like it that much. Thank you. Appreciate the help. That's what it's called. Yeah, she tried it and she's like, these are the best eggs I've ever had in my life. This is life changing. And then she's like, how did you know? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, how do I know you? Like, what? We're married. We have 2 kids together. We live, we own a house together. How do I know you?
Yeah.
But anyway, this was chicken thigh. Like, God, I'm getting excited just looking at these again.
I'm just getting hungry.
Yeah, it was so good. On the left was fried chicken, and on the right was pork belly.
Okay.
A closer look at the pork belly. Then we got a crepe cake.
Shout out. Tommy says it's really easy to make the egg.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make dashi broth, but I mean, I'm sure I could. I am a trained chef.
Is that a cheesecake?
No, on the left is crepe cake.
Okay.
So layers of crepes with sweet cream, and on the right is panna cotta, which is like my favorite dessert of all time.
Okay.
Keep in mind again, all of these plates are about $1.
Right.
Yeah.
Like that whole cake is $1.
Yes.
That's like a solid $8.75 at Olive Garden, bro. All right.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you guys ever come to Japan and pay me in my desserts, you're gonna get a deep discount. And again, like Liz and I were just like, you know what? We'll just order one of everything just to try it.
That's the new bet, right? Like, all right, we're betting for desserts in Japan.
But yeah, like Liz and I were like, oh, we'll just try one of everything. And then we get our bill. It's like 15 USD.
Yeah.
And like it is just incredible. So yeah, here's where you get commons, uncommons.
Okay.
I posted this on Twitter actually, and somebody commented and was like, where did you find cards? And I told them all the stores I went to. Turned out they were coming to the Grand Prix.
Yeah.
They came up to me at the Grand Prix and personally thanked me because they went to all the stores and found the cards they needed.
Nice.
Minus one popsicle. They only played with 3 popsicles.
Bummer.
Yeah, but this is how you found commons, uncommons.
That's hilarious.
And
was there sealed product available?
Yes.
Okay.
There's no shot I was trying that. Like five card packs.
Like, you're out of your mind.
Yeah, I'll play set 2 Steel Song before I do that.
That's funny.
So this store, all commons, uncommons were 33 yen.
Okay.
So 30% off is USD, obviously. Yeah. Some stores went as low as a nickel.
Okay.
And this was the most expensive. This was actually the store in the town I was staying in, and there was not another card shop unless you got on a train. Okay. Whereas the stores that had like those really expensive cards we showed, there was 50 shops within a 30-minute walk.
Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, these people knew what they had. They had gold here in these commons and uncommons.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, you know, even finding the commons and uncommons was difficult because other people wanted them for their deck.
Right.
So it's not like there was thousands available. So
it's like trying to find foil Lawrences after the card's good.
Oh my God. Yeah. Dude.
I still don't think I have 4 foil Lawrence.
Yeah. I remember Pave saying that's like the rarest card in the game.
It's like the rarest card in Disney Arcana.
What we got next? Oh, so here's 7-Eleven.
7-Eleven?
Yep. This was 7-Eleven behind the counter.
All sorts of stuff.
If you look, a pack of Magic, 570 yen.
Okay.
An entire Pokemon deck, 500 yen.
Sick.
With an EX in it.
Sick.
Yeah.
How many of them did you buy?
None.
Okay.
Yeah. I have no interest in Pokemon cards. But I just love again that, like, you know, you and your friend ride your bike down to 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
Oh, that's another thing. If you're gonna be in Japan for an extended period of time, you should probably find a bike rental place.
Okay.
I regret greatly not finding one day one. Like, you know, I'd been training for all the walking I was going to do. I knew I was going to be walking a lot. I looked at my steps, right? And like, it's like this. I don't have my phone in my pocket when I walk on the treadmill.
Japan was the forbidden mountain of your month.
Oh yeah. Oh God, it was bad. It was a mountain. All that tectonic activity, you know, just raising the Earth's crust higher and higher. Yeah. So bike culture was absolutely amazing there. There were parking lots just for bicycles.
Okay.
Yeah. And not only that, like, no one locks them up or anything. There's
no one steals.
Yeah. When you walk into 7-Eleven, there are places to sit to eat.
Yeah.
This is what you do. You walk in, you take your phone, you put it at the table, you walk around for 5 minutes and buy your stuff, and you microwave your stuff and you do whatnot. And then you go back and your phone isn't stolen. And you
why are you putting your phone down though?
So that you can reserve that seat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like if you walk into a restaurant and it's seat yourself, but then like maybe self-serve, you just leave your purse and your book bag and your phone on your table.
Okay.
And you walk away as long as you want. Oh,
Free
yeah.
charging too. Look at
Yeah, I
that.
was gonna say every convenience
boy.
store had phone chargers.
Oh boy.
Yeah,
If it's
Yeah.
free, it's for me. So
it was awesome. It
Thank God.
was a completely different culture.
okay.
Could you imagine? So we ended up seeing one homeless person, but like, and the cops cleared him out. That was interesting. But could you imagine all of this stuff in America? It would be ruined.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. We already ruined it.
Yeah.
At one point in time, it existed, and then someone's like, "Well, like, what if I just took that purse?" Like,
Yeah.
that was it. That was it. Like,
It
there's
was
no
crazy.
going back from that.
Yeah.
It's like drawing an extra card in a DLC. Like, it's fine. Like, it's fine.
All right, we got Dan off screen.
Okay, trouble.
So these were actually in our snack box this month.
Okay.
So I just thought that was really cool, and so were these. I thought that was really cool
Oh,
just
what
to
are
find
they?
them
They look good.
out in the open. Yeah, these are like peach rings, but they're grape flavored.
Sick.
I just thought it was cool because, like, it says in the snack box, this stuff all comes from Japan, and
Yeah.
it's true.
Yeah, look, it does exist. It's
Yeah.
the M&Ms.
These were incredible.
What is that?
These are one giant Cheeto, but like double the Cheeto powder.
Okay.
They were so good,
Interesting.
and they're like 25 cents in Japan.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. So most of the time that I spent not at shrines, I'm gonna bring us up just on the side here. Most of this time that I spent not at shrines and not at botanical gardens and stuff like that with my wife, we were playing this game. I fell
Dragon
in love.
Ball Super Divers.
Super Divers. Yeah,
Okay.
I fell in love with this game. So it spits out a card every time you play it, and
Okay.
then you can put that card on the screen and use that character to fight.
Okay.
And you go through the entirety of Dragon Ball Z, starting with the Saiyan saga.
Okay.
So I fought Raditz, I fought Nappa and the Saiyamen, so forth. I got through the entire Saiyan saga. Next time I go, I'm taking on Frieza.
Okay.
I've
got
got
to be
50.
there for at least 21 episodes. So
I've got 50 of these cards.
sick.
I bought a lot of them in
Did you
shops.
get any Gohans?
Yes.
I want it.
Okay. I bought a bunch of cards in shops, like super rare cards.
Oh,
to use.
so like you could go and use it?
Yeah. You could
that's
open booster packs
actually crazy.
in the stores and take them to this arcade machine.
Okay.
And the cards combo together. You have 3 different zones. That's where it's 3 screens.
Okay.
So like if you could have like a Piccolo and a Goku that do a special beam attack.
Okay.
If you use them at the same time.
Okay.
It was really fun figuring out all the different combos and stuff like that.
You didn't Google it once?
It says it in the back of the card. But like
I was gonna see, you really ruined my joke there because I was
Okay.
gonna follow up with like, did you hit it with the game FAQs? Like, and you let it go. I'm sorry.
I put it in their inkwell. Yeah. So I enjoyed this so much. I didn't need to read anything. It was so easy to play, and it was 100 yen to play, but you get a card, which is like a souvenir, and each game was like 10 minutes long.
Okay.
So it was pretty good. These machines were all over. There was one arcade I went to that was like 8 stories tall. One story was just these machines, and they have tournaments.
Okay.
And you can actually buy a Bandai card and save your progress like it's a role-playing game, and you can level up. You can level up your cards and
Did
stuff.
you do that?
No, I didn't know where to buy the card.
Then how are you gonna beat the Frieza saga?
Well, I have really overpowered cards.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because if you just spit out one card, you can use it, and then it will give you 7 bots to use just for that one. But it's not like they work well together. But yeah, this was so much fun. I watched one kid pour like $50 into this machine, just clicking the get a card button, not even playing the game.
He was just trying to like just hit it,
Yeah, like there must be some amount of like really rare cards in each machine, and he was just like gambling basically.
It's just he's playing lottery, slot machine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also did play pachinko. I only put $10 in,
Okay.
just to experience it. It is a waste of time. There is no skill level whatsoever, which makes sense. But it's something that so many Japanese people do every day that I wanted to try it. So
Fair.
all right. Yeah, so here was a botanical garden that we went to that again we just happened to stumble across. What would happen is I would set a location that I wanted to go to. It would usually be a card shop
Right.
because I knew like I could buy cards. I can like flip on TCG Player or whatever. I ended up finding those Mickey Mouse promos for 660 yen. The ones that are $40 in America.
The ones that you can sign or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I found them at a lot of shops, which was
Fair.
great. That might have paid for my trip.
Sick.
So what would happen is when I needed to change trains, I would just go out of the train station and see what was around me. And these botanical gardens were marked with flowers on the map. And like
How long were like the train waits?
1 minute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was incredible. But like this was my way of just stumbling into things.
Gotcha.
So yeah, here's a traditional tea house. Here's the botanical garden. Like this was breathtaking. This was in the middle of a large city. You can see like skyscrapers and apartments in the background a little.
I feel like I need to edit some like plastic cups and like trash bags.
Dude, they were
like sweet editing, photo editing, Dick. All right, like you nailed it.
There were employees cutting the grass with scissors.
That's insane. Oh my
There
God.
were employees on ladders, like meticulously trimming trees so that they were perfectly shaped.
Crazy.
This to get into this botanical garden was $2 US.
Okay, so you actually had to pay to get in the garden. Okay.
This one, yeah. So others were free, but this was the biggest one that we went to by far. But like $2, like oh my gosh, and they like we were right now. Not much was in bloom. There were photos there, and you could go at nighttime, and everything had these different colored lights on the flowers.
Yeah.
There were photos of when everything's in full bloom.
Yeah.
And you would think you're in a storybook.
Yeah.
Like it was unbelievable.
I just spent 3 weeks in Fairmount Park, which like I know that you're familiar with, but not everyone watching is. It is a massive park. And I can tell you that not a single inch of it looked like that botanical garden.
Yeah. I gotta put us back away. Yeah, here's just another shot of that lake. Oh, this lake was also filled with like 100 turtles.
Turtles.
So
Okay.
that was really cool.
Mm.
And then this is a shot from the other side. I couldn't get it all in one photo. It was so big.
You know, there's a specific setting on your phone that you can take a wide shot. Did you?
Yeah, I thought it'd be hard to see.
Okay, fair.
Here's a little creek that was in there.
Oh,
We actually walked on rocks to get across this creek.
Yeah.
There was like some of them you had to like jump to. There was like 90-year-old people also doing this.
Yeah, well,
because they've been doing it their whole lives.
That's like they're like 25. I don't understand.
Yeah. Could you imagine the lawsuits that would happen in America? Like, oh, slipped on a rock. Maybe you should have built a bridge. I'm suing you. You know?
It's so true. It's so true.
Like the culture is just so much better. So you can see how high I had to climb up to get this photo because I'm like the same level of some of these apartment buildings.
Yeah.
That was a rough one. But again, I got to the top and there's like 100-year-old people up there.
Yeah. They're like, look at this fat white guy, you know? Like,
yeah. They were super nice when I got up there. They offered to take a photo of Liz and I.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. But yeah, the ground, even when we were not inside the major city, a lot of the roads were like cobblestone.
Okay.
Or like steep incline. Like I'm looking at people's driveways, and I'm like, how do they drive on this road when it rains or snows?
Does it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it rains a ton.
I wasn't sure. Yeah, I wasn't sure if they got snow.
Yeah, they get snow.
Okay.
What's it called? Yeah. So like I've been training for this on the treadmill.
Mhm.
A lot easier walking on the treadmill, even a lot easier walking in our state parks than walking this terrain. So like it was rough on the legs every day.
So it was like the time we were in Seattle and you made me get the Uber at the bottom of the hill because you didn't want to walk up the hill. It's like,
oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm smart. You guys turned the corner. And I was just like, no, this is where I die. I don't know. I'll live here. I'll tell my wife and kids I miss them.
And here lies Bick Durns.
Yeah, very similar to Seattle, actually, where like it's raining all the time and stuff like that. I got lucky. It only rained 2 days while I was there. When we checked the weather forecast before we left the house, it said it was going to rain every day.
Cool. Well, it rained every day here. So
I know. I told Danielle to water my plants, and she's like, I don't think so.
Yeah, no, they'll be okay.
Yeah. All right. Back to this. So then we went to Shibuya Crossing, one of the days, which is like maybe the most famous place in Tokyo. It's one that I've known the most of. It's where they have the dog that outside the train station that everyone takes photos with.
Is it the same thing that's on that bus?
I don't know what demon
dog.
This is.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah. This building was just awesome. This was a Yakitori house. So from what I could tell. And again, just happening upon things. There was a pop-up shop for Star Wars.
Nice.
The week before it was Marvel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
okay.
it's just
this is like that time we found Stranger Things in Vegas.
Yes, it was exactly like that.
Okay.
So Shibuya Crossing is basically Times Square.
Okay.
Yeah, it's where five roads intersect, and everyone runs to the middle of the road to try to get one of their friends to record them in the road by themselves.
Okay.
I recorded the road a little bit. Yeah, I'll send you all the recordings and everything if you want to turn it into a video.
Yeah.
But yeah, more of the Star Wars. Then I went to Lost Bar. That was at Shibuya Crossing. Lost Bar is owned by Chris Broad, and that's who I've learned a ton about Japan from. So I wanted to pay him back by going and paying like $15 USD for drinks. Clearly, like the most expensive,
most American place there cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was the door, and you slid this over. That's why it's called Lost Bar. You slid this door over, and then you could actually go into the bar.
Oh,
so that was pretty cool. Anyone that watches Abroad in Japan, you would know Chris Broad. So here was what ended up being my favorite food, the yakitori.
Yeah.
Again, we're like, yeah, we'll just take one of everything.
Yeah.
And it's like $15. But here's the chicken wings I was talking about earlier that are butterflied, and you could just literally peel the bone off with no problem. And then we had like spring onion, chicken meatballs, some steak, chicken thigh, stuff like that.
Jelly.
Amazing meal. Everything was just cooked with rock salt. I originally ordered one rock salt, one sauce. The salted ones were so much better than the sauced ones, which shocked me. I feel like they have some kind of special salt because they were absolutely incredible. Yeah, I stayed in Tokyo. I didn't even touch 20% of Tokyo. Like Tokyo is massive. And I am going to try to go back to the next Grand Prix if I get a ticket. This time, since they're so close together, I'm going to actually get the ticket first before I decide to go. This was my favorite drink. This was Yoo-hoo.
Yoo-hoo.
Yep. This was the most expensive drink in like all of these vending machines, 170 yen. And
Wow.
I was addicted to it.
How many did you drink?
20. Easy.
Oh my God. Okay.
Easy 20. Every single time we went to a vending machine or we passed a vending machine, we bought a new kind of drink.
Okay.
And like, I never drink calories at home. So you could tell how much I was walking for only gaining 4 pounds. Because
Yeah.
I don't drink calories when I'm at home. Only like when we go to DLCs and stuff.
How many times did you accidentally have caffeine after 3 in the afternoon?
It didn't even matter.
Okay.
Didn't even matter. I was so tired.
You're so tired.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna bring us up real quick. So I can't relate to people when they say I played 8 rounds of Disney Lorcana. I'm mentally exhausted.
Yeah.
Because we practice so much that it's like second nature.
Yeah.
Just trying to remember everything, like sumimasan, stuff like that. Just trying to remember all of that stuff in Japan and trying to do conversion rates from yen to whatever without Googling it and stuff. I was thoroughly exhausted every day. I felt like my mental battery was drained at the end of every day. And I was going to sleep at like 7 to 8 p.m. And then waking up at 6 or 7 a.m.
You're going to sleep at like Scott Landis times.
Yeah. Like father, like son.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So like, I get it now. I completely get it when people are like, I made a mistake in round 8 because I'm just out of it.
Yeah.
Like that's what it was like. But yeah, there was corn. There was cold corn soup in one of these vending machines. I did not try that. I have no interest. Here's a card shop. Yeah.
It's like that. It's like the bag of milk thing all over again. Like,
oh no, that makes sense. And I was gonna say the corn soup maybe an acquired taste for if you grew up with it. You know.
Yeah.
People think it's weird that we eat pork roll.
Yeah, or scrapple. I know. Trust me, we catch all the time.
So yeah, I was able to get a photo of a card shop that didn't have people in it. Every time I went in a card shop, they were mobbed. And again, like I don't know if you should take pictures of people in public in Japan, so I'm just not going to.
Sure.
To the left was their bulk bins, but every store had these display cases, which were incredible. Usually you walk into a store and it has a glass showcase that you have to like bend down and like get on your hands and knees if you want to see what's on the bottom of it.
Right.
Yeah. What's it called? I did take photos in the actual Grand Prix because there were signs that said you agree that you will be photographed.
Yeah, it's similar to everything we see at ours and like SCGs and stuff like that.
Let's see. This was breakfast one of the days.
Look at that soy egg.
Yeah, Liz got to enjoy that. So we got some ramen. Like this bowl of ramen is like $2.
That's amazing.
Yeah, got some ramen, got some wagyu, and got some smoked duck. Yeah, and she got a piece of fatty tuna. I don't eat fish.
Sure.
Closer look at the wagyu.
Yeah.
I walked past this building.
What is going on here?
Yeah, this guy was just some rich guy. We were in an incredibly bougie town.
Bougie. Oh man, there's the word.
You know how this is how we knew when we were in really expensive areas. The vending machine prices.
Oh, okay.
Right outside our apartment, if you wanted a bottle of Coke, it was like
90 cents. Is that the Megazord right there?
Yes.
Wow.
That's why I took a photo.
Wow.
A bottle of Coke near our apartment, 90 cents. A bottle of Coke at the airport, $1.70.
Yeah, sure.
If I walk up to this vending machine, it's probably like $1.25. Like you knew when you were in an expensive area or a tourist trap area.
Gotcha.
Yeah, we bought this orange juice, which was the best orange juice I ever had in my entire life. Okay. The machine cuts the oranges in half, squeezes the orange juice out into a cup, and then puts a vacuum seal on it. And then you reach in and take it. and it has nothing added to it whatsoever. It's just pure orange juice. It was amazing.
All that for $1.22.
No, the orange juice was 350 yen.
Okay.
But in Shibuya, it was 700 yen.
Whew.
Yeah, so you knew when you were in an area that was like targeting tourists.
Okay.
But yeah, this was awesome. I mean, we got the World War II soldier to the left, Megazord, Spider-Man, a nuke.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, everything that's going on in this photo is insane.
Yeah, so this was just some guy's garage.
Yeah,
inside was all classic cars that he was
that
working on.
Is that a Budweiser sign too? Like,
that is the hood of a NASCAR car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was incredible. The guy was in there, so I didn't want to take a photo inside, but like these cars were probably through the roof expensive.
Yeah.
Then right around the corner from that was another botanical garden. You can see the guy on the ladder to the right trimming the trees.
Yep.
There were apricot trees here. I tried one that had fallen off the tree because I didn't know if you could like pick a fruit here.
I only know what that is because of RuneScape.
Okay. It's a non-fuzzy peach. Here's another shot. Building a building next door. Check this out. They rake the stones every morning.
Wow.
And you can see the path I was walking on when I'm talking about like killing your feet.
Yeah. If you couldn't walk on that rock, could you?
To the left, no, I definitely wouldn't have tried stepping in that. That's not nice.
Yeah.
But imagine in America, people would be writing their names.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Hold up. Come on. You think they'd be writing? They might be writing your name. All right. Like, get out of here.
Like,
get out of here.
It is incredible, the culture difference, and again, ruined America for me.
Yeah.
I'm renouncing my citizenship.
Yeah, he's done.
Yeah.
He's moving in with Tom.
Yep. Just more shots of it. There was actually there was no water running in any of these gardens, but some times of the year they have water running. In this one, there was an instrument that the water drops on it and it plays music.
Oh, okay.
That's cool. Yeah. And again, this was a really small but like absolutely gorgeous botanical garden. Right. Little lantern. This building wasn't open while I was there, but this is like a traditional tea house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has the mats on the floor. That's like traditional Japanese housing.
Yeah.
This is like this little river thing was very low. The fountains were not on, but at some points they are.
Yeah.
And then there was a little hill that I climbed on to take this photo. This is how small the botanical garden is. Like you could tell it's not large here, but like when we go back, like this looks massive. This looks like a man forest.
Right.
And then that was from another angle.
Oh, that looks nice. It just looks like how it's almost like this little thing in between like housing, you know?
Oh yeah, it was.
It's crazy that like it's just like, yeah, here's this like really cool thing like right smack dab in the middle of the community.
Yeah, so in my town they have something called a park and it's like 4 benches. You know. And I'm sure I'm sure there's some in Philly. And like this is the park in Japan. This is the cheap park.
It's like it has 4 benches.
Like and what's funny is like I found it on Google and there were reviews for the park. It was like all 5 stars except one person was like, there was a bee when I was there. Like, oh, you think there's a bee in this park full of flowers? Crazy.
Yeah, come to Philly. There'll be pee on that bee.
Yeah. Something I'm gonna put us back up real quick. Something I should mention: right next to this park were bathrooms, public bathrooms. I took a video of Liz. I'm not putting her in our videos. Like she went there for vacation, not to get roasted, but the bathrooms were Eastern bathrooms. Okay. If you don't know what that is compared to a Western bathroom, Western bathrooms have toilets.
Right.
Eastern bathrooms are a hole in the floor.
Yeah.
That you squat over.
Yeah.
They had a handicap stall.
Yeah.
There were no doors to these bathrooms, by the way.
Sure.
You just poop with with all the neighbors. Like, oh, hey Tom, how's Jill? Yeah, Liz is good too.
Oh God, that's terrible. Oh wow.
No door at all.
All right.
Even to the women's room, no door.
That's crazy.
So she came out of the handicap one. I went to pee. I came out and she was gone. I was like, oh, she must be in the handicap stall. So I'm recording the door and it comes open. I said, what do you think you're doing? You're not handicapped. You go in there. She's just like, shut up, get out of my face. Oh gosh, it was so good. Oh man. Anyway, back to my nemesis.
Stairs.
Look at this. There was a bike path on the left side and the right side.
Should have had a bike.
Imagine riding a bike down this.
Come on,
I feel like Lance Armstrong doing 100 miles an hour.
If you ever played a Pokemon game, you should know you needed a bike.
Yeah, I know. These people had bikes to the right. Everyone had bikes. It was incredible.
Not you.
Everyone like had bikes or walked. Very few people drove cars outside the city.
Yeah.
I was actually wondering if the fact that there was a path on the right and the left meant you could drive a car down here.
Oh, maybe.
But I don't know. That's sketchy. And then this was the bottom of it. Yeah, it was rough. Well, actually, sorry, I got to the bottom of it. I turned a corner. I had to go back up.
Oh, no.
I'm like, come on. This is like,
how did I mess this up?
This is like 3 days. Well, I had to go up a different one. Like we went down the hill and then up the hill. This was like 3 days into the trip too. Like we had already walked so much. We found another botanical garden. And it was massive. And we actually did not stay here. I sat on this bench. I took this photo and then I looked on Google Maps and there was something way better that was closing in 30 minutes. So we ran out of this botanical garden and we found this shrine. And I mean, like, my God, how beautiful is this? The shrines have these collection boxes where you could pray and then throw some yen in there, you know, make your dreams come true.
Yeah, it's wishing wells.
When you go into these shrines, the first thing, let me bring us up. The first thing that you will encounter and that you do is there's a fountain. This one actually had a huge dragon on the fountain. Okay. And you scoop water out and you cleanse yourself. You wash your hands in it, not over the fountain, over the ground. Okay. And then there was a place to burn incense, which I did. I have a video of that. And there are places to buy fortunes. It's this place is 100 yen. The first one we went to that I showed earlier was 1,000 yen for a fortune. That was funny. There was a guy complaining to his friend. He was from Australia. He's like, "I'm 3,000 yen in. I haven't gotten a good fortune yet." So that was fun. Me and Liz bought fortunes here for 100 yen. We bought a love fortune specific, which, you know, was like whatever is generic horoscope stuff like that. And then I bought a normal fortune that said like new things are coming for you. You know, it's all generic stuff, but it was fun. Let's see, back to this one. Yeah, so this place was just absolutely gorgeous. Here's the temple. Here's the inside of that temple. This was just a photo from the balcony of the temple that I was standing on. These fish I felt so bad for. I went in the gift shop and was like, "Do you sell fish food?"
Yeah.
Because all the fish, like, by the time I got my phone out, some went away.
Yeah.
50 fish came up and poked their heads out.
They were
I'm
hungry.
like,
Mine.
oh my God, like they must sell fish food. Like they
Yeah.
must, if you went to like a zoo or something, there'd probably be a thing to buy fish food here and feed them. No,
Yeah.
they didn't sell any. I felt awful.
Yeah, that's just we're just like trained to think that way.
Yeah. So this was the statue when we got there. It is hard to tell here. This is 2 stories tall.
It looked pretty. It looked like a giant spectral parrot. So
Yeah, it is. It was breathtaking in person. Random photo of the place. I took a photo of all of the different deities and stuff. I thought this one looked like Maui, so that was pretty cool.
I gotta learn how to stretch like that. That was pretty impressive, actually.
Yeah. This one, I don't remember if it was this one. One of them was deity for good foot health.
Interesting.
Yeah, and people leave money at his feet. So it might have been this one.
Okay.
The Confucian temple that I was at earlier, actually, it said that students go there and drop money and wish for good luck on tests because he was a philosopher.
Yeah, Confucius.
Yeah. Here's the 7 dwarves. I can only get 6 in the photo.
Nice.
People leave drinks and flowers and stuff. I've seen that in videos before, that people leave food for the gods.
Yeah. It's kind of like how we leave milk and cookies for Santa Claus,
Yeah. This was also about 2 stories tall. Like you could see me here, and I'm 6 feet tall, and it was, towering over me.
Oh, check out that sweet word search.
Yeah, so when you read Japanese writing, you read up and down, not left and right.
Vertical versus horizontal.
Yeah, even like doing Google Translate is an absolute nightmare.
Man, now I have to go on, right? Because listen, I get the ads, right? I get the ads. And Ray-Ban just came out with these new, if you remember back literally 10 years ago when Google Glass came out,
yeah,
crazy thing, and they were so expensive, like $2,500. Well, Ray-Bans just put out a pair for $300, and it made me laugh because in the commercial, she's like walking around Tokyo reading all the signs with Ray-Ban. I'm like, this is just so weird how I think somehow my conversation with Dick in Tokyo brought me to Ray-Bans for
simulation confirmed.
It's like, what is going on? So weird.
So if you went to a restaurant and their menu looked like this, that was like their way of saying like no foreigners allowed.
Yeah, because you can't translate that.
Yeah. So that's why I tried sticking to like the iPad restaurants where I could tell that they wanted me there. These were about 1.5 times my height. These were in cages outside of the temple. I'm guessing like the guardians of it, basically.
Yeah.
There were explanations of who each of them were and where they came from as well, because all of these were outside of different lords' houses from different empires. But yeah, I thought these were just incredible, especially in person.
A picture never does it justice.
Yeah. And then this was another shrine in that area. Yeah. And there's Liz and I's fortunes. You're supposed to, after you buy the fortune, you're supposed to tie it somewhere.
Oh, okay.
So there was thousands of fortunes tied there. There's an archer. Yeah, so thrifting. I did some thrifting in Japan.
Yeah.
These amiibos weren't worth reselling.
Look at that sweet Toon Link and Mega Man. They're awesome.
Yeah. So this was a bookstore that also buys stuff from people. So they'd use video games and stuff like that. I wanted to go back. I didn't have time. I wanted to go back and get a copy of Pokemon Green.
Yeah.
Because they didn't have that in the United States. And you can use them in American Game Boys.
Right.
They're not region locked. So what was great about this was none of this stuff was worth eBay per se.
Yeah.
But if I looked one of these up on eBay, let's say like this Yoshi is 1,800 yen.
Yeah.
It would be like $18 on eBay.
That's kind of aggressive.
So you're getting a 30% discount if you buy it here. Like if you wanted it for your own persons.
Right. Like if you want it for yourself, it makes a lot of sense. But to resell, you're
Yeah.
probably making maybe 5%.
Yeah. So I just wanted to highlight if you're going to Japan and you're into stuff like this, video games and stuff, I would check out Book Off. That's the name of this chain, and they're all over Tokyo.
What is that? Was it Lunchbox? Is that the name of the like crazy animation store in America?
It's something box. I don't know off the top of my head.
I don't know. I've only was in there because of Ben and Melissa.
Yeah, I was Ben and Melissa's pack mule for Disney store stuff and cards and stuff like that.
Oh, she's getting the Nintendo collection upgrade.
I thought this, like, we spent a decent amount of time in arcades. I loved that all the arcades were really busy.
I just want to say that you're both nerds for knowing the answer to this. All right, that's all I want to say. This is like a Millennium Falcon scenario. Is this what's going on here?
Yeah, it's here. Well, that's me.
That's Mario.
The outside of it is in another photo.
Okay.
Yeah, that you sit inside of this, and it's like a pod fighter or TIE fighter or whatever.
Okay.
I loved that. Like it would be a random Wednesday, like 7 p.m. These arcades were absolutely packed with like young adults and teenagers just having a great time. Like arcades in America are dying. You know.
Oh yeah, they're very dead. Yeah.
Yeah, people are like out getting in trouble instead of spending time at the arcades.
Every arcade that I hung out in as a kid, they're all closed.
Yeah. So I thought this was absolutely incredible and great for the culture and stuff like that. Yeah. Liz and I played some Mario Kart. She beat me.
Loser.
I was in first place the entire race, which you never want to do that. You always want to be in second place.
Sure.
Because I got nailed right at the finish line. No, they didn't have blue shell here. She was right behind me and hit me with a red shell, though.
Not Dashi. No. You gotta hold the banana, bro. You gotta hold the banana.
Oh, here's the outside. It was Star Wars Battle Pod.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, like this was awesome. So many of the arcade machines were absolutely incredible. I played Super Mario Brothers for the Super Nintendo on it had a giant controller. It was 100 yen for 10 minutes. So I played through the first world and a half.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, like it was just so
you gotta get your times down though.
My times, what, like jumping in time and stuff?
Your lap times. You can get further in the game in 10 minutes. That was the joke, Dick. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, I uploaded a video to my Facebook of me playing Super Mario, and on a normal size controller, I do a lot better. It was so weird. It was like using a keyboard.
Okay.
To play.
Got you.
Let's see. So then I went to Set Champs.
Yeah.
You know, you've been working, but I sent you the vlog stuff, so hopefully that'll be up at some point.
It'll definitely get there.
And people will see exactly how I accomplished winning this.
Yeah.
But that's just like that's the abridged version is what's in the vlog, right? Let's talk about the actual
the most common question so far is how's the quality of that card?
It's the same cards. It's like twice as thick as normal ones. Yeah. So it's the same card stock as Japanese cards, which are significantly better than American cards.
Is the foiling at all different from that you can remember?
No. One thing, I thought it was weird that like PPG banned Japanese cards.
Yeah.
No, deserved. You could tell so much. Ben and Melissa wanted me to double sleeve the deck I borrowed. I didn't. Dude, the deck was this big, like when I double sleeved it. Not only that,
like I didn't.
it would have been worse. Like if I bent any of the cards, it would have been worse double sleeve because they didn't like they barely fit in the dragon shields as is. The dragon shields were bowing. If you had Japanese cards and English cards in your deck and you've played card games for a long time, you would be able to tell exactly where they were for sure. So I completely understand it. And what most people do here, here in Japan, almost everyone in Japan had outer sleeves. And they were almost exclusively playing with Disney Lorcana sleeves, like the puppy sleeves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they had outer sleeves to protect their cards instead of inner sleeves.
Okay.
They're like twice as thick as a normal Disney Lorcana card. So, set champs. I found one set champs and one local tournament that I could play in before the Grand Prix. And I really wanted to practice playing in Japan with a language barrier. I was nervous about it. Okay. I feel like that's a normal thing. So I go to a normal tournament. I take an hour and 10-minute train ride and I get there an hour early. I sign up, I pay, and then I spend about 50 USD on cards. I bought every Forbidden Mountain I could find in all of Japan, foil and non-foil. It was funny because they're like, I bring up to the counter where the foil ones were in the case, and case is the same, by the way, in Japanese. The word case is just case. So when I heard Japanese people asking for cards out of the case, they were speaking full Japanese, and then I heard case.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I know another Japanese word. So, I go up to the counter, sumimasen, case?
Yeah.
Okay. And they come over, and I point at the Forbidden Mountains, and they ask me how many, and I go, all.
Yeah, yeah.
And they give me 4.
Yeah, yeah.
And then I go, all. And they're like,
yeah.
They're motioning like, I know you can only use 4 of this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh. So I eventually started just carrying a Forbidden Mountain with me into stores.
Yeah.
And then being like, you got it. You got this. Yeah. So that was fun. One day I had a Forbidden Mountain t-shirt on, so I could just be like,
oh yeah, like this.
Yeah. They're probably like, wow, this guy's just a huge fan of this card.
That's funny. That's good.
But yeah, so I go there, I get there an hour early, I buy stuff on there. I bought some stuff for eBay. There was some like deck boxes that were exclusive to Japan that I'm like, they're really small. I'll bring them back here and see if they sell. So a minute before the tournament starts, the organizer walks up to me and one other person. The other person was Asian, but they spoke English, so I don't think they were from Japan. They handed us our money back and told us to leave. There were no prizes to be won. It was just 500 yen to play in the store for a couple hours, and that was incredibly disheartening. I was just like, this is what's going to happen at the DLC.
Yeah.
And I was just happy that I was having such a great time with my wife. Like, huge misconception was that I only went here to play Disney Lorcana. We've said it a ton of times, not that anyone is listening who is complaining about it, but I bought the plane ticket before I got the ticket into the DLC. I also spent twice as much money to bring my wife as it cost for me to go. I would not have done this if I'm trying to go over there and make, a ton of money, like getting random Disney promos, I went there to spend time with my wife, and it just so happened this was a good reason. Like, how many times are people are like, yeah, I'm going to do that one day, like about anything. And people need like a reason to do it, whether it be like they get really sick and then they're like, oh, I need to start living life. And then people are like, they're having a midlife crisis.
Yeah.
Or, oh, my work is sending me here and I've been wanting to go here my whole life. Like, people need a reason to do things. So this was just a good reason to do it. Not only that, like, a lot of this trip is now tax deductible. So that's helpful. But yeah, so I go to the set championships the next day, and I should also mention, somebody on our Facebook was like, "What's he gonna do when he can't play?" I was recording videos the whole trip. I ended up being able to play, so I deleted them. I was recording videos of myself, like eating Wagyu, being at botanical gardens, and Liz would record me and say, "What are you doing since you can't play?" And I was like, "I'm just eating more Wagyu, I guess." I'm just seeing this beautiful temple instead of playing cards all day.
Yeah.
So that would have been a fun one. Yeah, I was gonna say she recorded me playing video games. I'm just playing these Japanese video games that are so much fun.
Should have kept them.
Well, it's like I didn't need to throw the shade.
You can still throw it. It's fine. Like whatever. Like I don't. Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna get to
I don't want to go on the tangent, but it's one of those where
I'm gonna get to a big tangent.
Yeah, later. Yeah. Okay, I get you, but like I saw the comments coming in. I'm just like, man, you guys just have nothing better to do with your life than complain about this. Like that's like, God forbid. It's no different than my favorite of the whole last weekend was Lurkana Man, and the Lurkana Man repost our picture to Instagram. And he goes, "What would a Disney Lurkana release be without Dan standing in front of a bunch of boxes?" And it's like, I can't believe he spends all this money on these cards, and this is crazy. Yeah. What are you guys doing? It's like, we have a business. Like,
I couldn't take it anymore. I commented.
I saw you comment.
I've gone 8 set releases, and I was done. I commented, and they deleted their comment.
Yeah.
When I commented,
yeah,
my comment was, "We're in set 8. When is this gonna stop?"
Yeah.
Like seriously, when is it gonna stop?
Yeah,
it's insane.
It makes me laugh. And then like I said, the same thing. I saw those comments. I'm just like, man, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you so angry at life?
Yeah. So the store didn't like foreigners. Not gonna lie, a lot of the Japanese people that I had met outside of Disney Lorcana did not like foreigners. And I completely understand why, honestly. Like I said earlier, like the Pauls of the world and stuff like that. I completely understand why. A lot of people go to Japan as if it's their personal playground when it's not. Like these people are just trying to live their normal lives. And I get it. If people went into like your place of work and started acting insane, I would also just be like, you know what? I don't want to deal with anyone from that.
It's really funny too, because like just as a culture swap in general, like I live in Philadelphia and it is a huge tourist place. Like whenever you're in the center city and you walk around, you see foreigners all day long taking pictures with every imaginable monument that I can think of, because our city is very rich in history. Like it just is.
There's literally tour buses, like double-decker tour buses.
Literally, like it's funny because a lot of people don't necessarily understand how deep and rich the city truly is, but especially here, you grow immune to it. You're like, you just forget that it exists. But when I say we have the oldest theaters like in the world, like it's stuff like that. You're like, man, like that's crazy because you don't know that for Philadelphia, but I see it all the time, and it's the complete opposite. Like these people are quiet for the most part. Like they're just there. They're taking their photos. They're taking it in. And it's like, I totally imagine in a world where how American we are and how like ridiculous we can be, that you just go and the average person is probably just disingenuous and they're completely ignorant to the entire culture and situation.
Yeah.
So I get why they act the way they do, but it goes all the way back to that whole thing where we started months ago, where they announced that if you don't speak Japanese, you can't play. It's like, if we acted that same way to them in our culture here, we would be, crucified. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So me and Liz were on the train, and there's one seat available. So Liz sits down, and mom made her son move away from her.
Wow.
Yeah, and that was jarring. And the son was crying because he had to stand. But Yeah, I mean, I get it. And like Liz doesn't have blue hair or anything, so
Yeah.
it's not that obviously.
Yeah.
Because like some like stores didn't want to buy stuff for me. One store was willing to. They took my passport. They have to get ID to buy stuff. Other stores just like looked at me and was like, you know. And I talked about it privately with people, and they're like, "Oh, maybe it's the blue hair and stuff like that." It's like, yeah, here, sure, but I think they just didn't want to deal with the headache, or like we're worried my stuff was fake and stuff like that. Like that's another thing. That's a great thing about Japan. They have huge laws in regarding fake merchandise. Like if you go to a thrift store or something, everything's real. If you go anywhere, everything's real. You don't have to worry about stuff like that.
Gotcha.
What's it called? So yeah, I don't remember exactly where I was, so I'll just go back to the set champs. I do know that I have tangents going on later.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep us up on the screen though to go over the set championships. But round one. Oh well, 108 people showed up.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, to a set championships.
That's crazy.
Stores here would kill for 108 people.
For set championships, we can't even get 30.
Yeah, I mean there were stores here that couldn't get to 8.
Yeah, like 7 people show up my set championships. All right.
So a lot of people, even people that lived in Japan that came to the set championships, traveled very far.
Right.
Like up to 3 hours because they were there for the Grand Prix. And this was the only set championships in town. Japan is set 3 right now. Set 3 came out like the week before I got there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like even like Tom and like his friends traveled very far. So Judy was there, who Melissa knows from Secret Test Club or whatever. Her husband, I apologize, I don't remember his name right now. He was there. They went to 4 set championships. Judy got into 3. He got into just this one.
Wow.
Tom did not get to play in a single set championships at all in all of Japan.
That's crazy.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't because it's a lottery system. So what happened was I walked in and I walked up to a table and none of the employees really spoke English, but one that was running things asked me, "Do I speak Japanese?" I said, "No." And then he said, "Do you read Japanese?" Also, no. Shocking, but also no. So he had 3 piles of numbers, and he handed me a number from the middle pile.
Yeah.
And this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, these are the numbers we're letting in this tournament. These are the maybes, and these are the you're not playing.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, I just got a number from the you are not playing pile. Yeah. So we sat there. I sat there an hour. I was thrilled because Liz was not with me. She went off and did her thing, and one of your friends was there, Vo.
Yeah.
And so as soon as I walked up to the store, I heard Bick Durns. I was like, I have someone I could talk to. This is great. I thought I was gonna be sitting in the corner, shaking, scared the whole time.
Yeah.
So I was talking to him. He had bought his deck when he had got there. He did not get into the Grand Prix, but he bought his deck so he can play in set championships. Spoiler alert, he did not get to play in any set championships. Luckily for him, Amber Steel performed much better than people expected at the Grand Prix. So he sold his cards back to the store for more than he paid. The store's profit margins on cards are apparently razor thin, like 10%. Like if they sell a card for 7,000 yen, they're paying like 6,300 yen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but when there's 50 stores within a 30-minute walk, I guess you gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I get into the tournament. Only like me, Judy's husband, and like one other foreigner got into the tournament. Everyone else you had like less than 50% shot of getting in. Tom was like, "All right, man, you got in the Grand Prix, you got in the set champs, we're gonna jump you in the parking lot." It was hilarious. But yeah, so round 1 I had to play, and I pull out a Ravensburger score pad, as I would anywhere I go.
Yeah.
This drew a lot of eyes. People were coming over to take photos of it.
I got one too.
Yeah, people were coming over to take photos of it. The people running the tournament came over and were like looking at it. It was like, oh,
Man,
you
you
know.
could have sent them to the Forbidden Mountain eBay channel.
So my opponent, I think they thought I was trying to take notes because they were like, no.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay. I put it in my backpack. They had these spinning counters that went up to 40 on both sides.
Yeah,
and
the commander counters.
Yeah. He put that in the middle of the table, and which was nice. He let me use one side. He did not speak any English.
Yeah.
So this was a great test to see how things were going to go. Everyone there was using a phone or one of these counters.
Yeah.
A little sketchy, you know. Oh, ticked it too much.
Yeah.
What was I at? I don't know. Yeah. But
13-ish, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, but you know what Tom had told me was right. Everything like you use the English words basically when you play. Just like professional wrestling, they call spots in English no matter where you are in the world.
Yeah.
Goa. Just add like an or an o to the end of most English words and you will get by in most speaking.
Yeah.
Right. So Inca, you know, like stuff like that. No issues whatsoever.
Yeah.
I end up winning the die roll and I end up winning on like turn 6. And my opponent was amazed. He was super nice. He wanted to talk afterwards, which was rough because we couldn't. So we were using Google Translate to talk, which was amazing. Like, how many years ago you wouldn't be able to do this?
Yeah.
He first thing he asked, why do I have Lawrence in my deck since it's so bad?
Yeah.
And then I showed him Lawrence. I pointed to the 3 costs and the 4 health, and I showed him Rapunzel. Pointed to the 4 costs. He was like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. All day, between every round, he wanted to hang out and talk strategy and just talk about life and stuff. And that was awesome.
Yeah.
All of my opponents, most of my opponents all day would check up on me and ask for my record and stuff like that and want to talk. AJ, Jesus, got me going for a little bit. What's it called? Yeah. So one of my opponents, I'm gonna make us big again because so people can actually see this. I have a Smee with 2 damage on it. I have a Lawrence and I have a Rapunzel. Okay. I should explain, even though I could not speak Japanese or read Japanese and my opponents could, I had to explain to 75% of my opponents what Lawrence did. They just had never seen it before.
Yeah.
And so my opponent has nothing in play. They play Kit Cloud Kicker. And they point at my Lawrence. And I'm like explaining to them it has 4 power, 4 strength. And then he like looks around, he sees the Rapunzel, and he's like, oh. Like he realizes he has to return that Rapunzel to my hand, and my Smee is 2 damage. And I go, oh, take it back. And he's like, and he played something else. So like the fact that I was able to communicate with him pretty well set my whole mind at ease for the game. I felt way better. And like we're playing for something, like the Stitch and the playmat are worth something, but I'm really there just to experience playing the game. So he could take it back, obviously. He was playing Kit Cloud Kicker in his deck, so obviously I won 20-0. I'm playing Amber Steel. I end up losing 1 round. I lost round 4 to Ruby Amethyst, which was rough. I just had a terrible hand. 19 unequals in my deck, whatever. It was close though. Every game that I had won all day, including at the Grand Prix, my opponent did not get past like 9 lore. Every game I lost, I was at 18 or more. So it was nice. Like if it was best 2 out of 3, I feel like I would have won that Grand Prix.
Sure.
I still preferred best of 1 over 2 game format.
Yeah.
Other people were disagreeing with me who live in Japan. They're like, oh, I'd rather play 2 game format. I liked that it was definitive at least. Even when I got close, I lost. Like it was over.
Yeah.
And we could walk away from the situation. So yeah. So then round 5, I had to play against someone with a champion Stitch mat. And like me and Natalie have joked about this, that it's like uncouth to use that season's mat in that season.
Yeah.
Oh, look at me. I already won one and now I'm going to take one from you.
Yeah.
But no, he was playing Emerald Amethyst. So it was like 20-0.
Yeah.
And then the last round, I have a photo of this one. Last round, I had to play Judy's husband.
Yeah.
Which was awesome. We sit down. What is the reason for the 2 game format? It's so that someone always goes first. Because, or what is the reason I don't like it? You'll have to expand on that. But the reason that we do it is so that someone always goes first. Because going first is an advantage.
Goes first at least 1 game.
Yeah. So this was interesting. Okay, I'm playing Judy's husband. I didn't see Judy, and he's not white. So I sit down and I think we can't talk, and then I'm just like I bow, like whatever, and then he's like, "Hey, what's up, Dick?" I was like, "Okay, this is great." I can I can have a normal game here. It's the last round. Don't need to think so much. Like this is just normal Disney Lorcana for me. So that was cool. I talked to him a little bit. Judy asked if she could get a photo of us. I was like, yeah, perfect. I felt so bad because I won the die roll and we were on the mirror match, and I knew he did not get into the first 3, and I knew I was going to win because it was the mirror match and I won the die roll, and we both knew what we were doing. Yeah. So I think I won 20-0. If he would have won the die roll, he would have won 20-0.
Yeah.
So like, it's not like it was anything to do with skill whatsoever. He also had like a really rough hand, and I played turn 1 Cindy, so he like couldn't play anything.
Yeah. Sweet game, sweet format.
Yeah. I do want to say something to prepare people if they do go play in Japan. So it's 25-minute rounds, right? Every round took an hour.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It was 25-minute rounds. So first of all, they will not start their like pre-match announcements until everyone says they're ready. Everyone in the room has to say that they're ready. They'll walk around.
Is true for the set championship also? Set
championships and the challenge.
Okay.
Yeah, you would think it wouldn't be true for the Grand Prix because it's 1,000 people. Yeah. But judges had their little areas and they had walkie-talkies, and they would say everyone's ready in my area.
That's crazy.
So after they make sure everyone is ready and has their deck out and everything, then they have like I'm just going to call it a pre-match ceremony because I don't know what they were saying, but you then had to bow to your opponent and say good luck.
Okay.
So they would talk for like 10 minutes.
Wow.
And this whole time I'm just like shuffling,
Yeah.
And then you would bow and say good luck, and then you'd start playing. And so be prepared for that. Not only that, if everyone is done early, they'll just still wait till the time is run out.
Oh, wow.
So it's like an hour ordeal each round. So I going into the last round, I didn't know if it was cut to top 8. I didn't know if I could draw. I didn't know anything like that. I didn't know how many people got stitches. I don't know anything. Yeah. So I'm talking to my round 1 opponent all day.
Sorry, it's posted on X somewhere.
What? Oh, the rounds and stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So my round 1 opponent, I'm talking to him, and I'm like, all right, how do I ask him if we're allowed to draw?
Yeah.
Where like he will also understand it. Because one thing I learned is that proper English is stupid.
Yeah.
Only we speak in these full sentences when people could totally understand what's happening. Like if I said to you, what did you have for breakfast? and you
Yeah.
were like, "Oh, earlier today I ate an apple." It's like that's a normal conversation.
Yeah.
A Japanese person would just be like, "Me apple,"
Yeah.
and you know what they're saying, you know.
Yeah.
And that is where broken English comes from.
Yeah.
It's not anything to do with like anything about the person. It's just things translate and drop off all the unnecessary information. So I'm like, I'm using Google Translate, and not only that, it finds words, it finds images. I'm like, all right, I'm not going to write draw. It's like, oh, can I draw? Yeah, anyone can. I have hands. So I write tie, question mark. And it brings up a necktie, but I didn't see that it brought up a necktie. It goes, and he just starts dying laughing at me. Anytime I made a mistake in Japan talking, the person, no matter who it was, employee of like a restaurant, anything, just started dying laughing.
Yeah.
It was great. I was also dying laughing. What's it called? Yeah. Do you follow us? Send us a message on Facebook and I'll respond with the deck list because I don't have access to it right now. I'll just build it and send it to you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, how did the deck list work?
There's QR code, and you would create a deck on Lorcana's website for Japan. You didn't need a third-party website. They had a deck builder.
Yeah, was there
right on there?
Was there an export button?
What export button?
Yeah, was it like an export image?
No.
Okay. Did you have to like make an account and everything?
No.
Okay.
No, you just use a Google document. You just use a Google document. You could click get deck code.
Yeah.
And put that in the Google document.
Okay.
But yeah, so he said that you can't draw and that there's no cut top 8. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just have to play. So I got third place on breakers.
So 40 players. So was that 6 rounds and then just that was it? Like just 6 rounds, that was it? Huh.
Yeah, so I got third place. Oh, what was really awesome is my name is not a word in Japanese. So I was at the top tables all day, not a flex, whatever. So the person realized after round 1, and I just stood there and waited to see which seat was open. After round 1, the organizer would look at me and say my full name and tell me the seat before he told anyone else their seat. Yeah. He would look at me and he knew the alphabet and he would go, DICKBURNS, table 3. Thank you. Yeah. People that wanted to get my attention at the Grand Prix that didn't know me would call me DICK. Yeah. Because it was on the back of my shirt. Yeah. People had no idea what that word meant or was. Yeah. Which is cool. So so I got third place. I was super excited. I didn't expect to get third place. I wish it was cut to top 8. But that's only the competitive nature of me. I don't actually wish it was because Liz was, waiting for me to get done this tournament and to go out and have more fun. And we went to the arcade after that. So that was awesome. Let's see. Back to this. So next day, get to the Grand Prix. You notice I don't have an umbrella here.
No, of course not.
No. I checked the weather and there's always a chance of rain in Tokyo, but it said like it was going to rain for 5 minutes and it was while I was on the train. Yeah. So I'm told that, everyone is very punctual. Third place prize was a Stitch promo. I'm going to put us back up on the screen. I'm told everyone's very punctual. If you're not early, you're late, so on and so forth. Yeah. Well, turns out what they meant by punctual was like those doors were opening at 9 a.m. They were locking at 10 a.m. Like you were going to be at that tournament between 9 and 10, or you were not going to be playing. Okay. So I get there at 8. Sure. I wake up at 6. Sure. Hour and 10-minute train ride, walking, stuff like that. I get there at 8. I'm not allowed in. So I see some vending machines across the street. I walk over to those. I fill up my bag with the Yoo-hoos and coffees. And then I hear, Dick Burns, the Forbidden Mountain. Yeah. I turn around and it was the man in the photo. His name is Frank.
Yeah.
He's from Singapore.
Okay.
Yeah. I was shocked. I was absolutely shocked that I was recognized by someone and that they weren't like another American or from the UK or whatnot. And I was so happy. I'm like, oh my God, it's like I'm at a DLC again. Like, this is fantastic. And yeah, so he comes over to me and he's like, yeah, I watch all your guys' videos. I love your videos. Very complimenting. He's like, yeah, I've been watching, like, you're so nice and humble and stuff like that. It was so good. So we go over there and we have to get in line to get into the door, and it starts raining. He sheltered me. Not only that, I had a hole in my book bag. I ripped my book bag at some point this trip.
Oh no.
So it would have like rained in my book bag.
Yeah.
He actually told me to go to the Disney store and they had a sale on book bags, and I went and I got one the next day at the Disney store. But yeah, we were talking.
Wait, did you have to bury the pink book bag?
I threw it away in a 7-Eleven.
Oh my goodness.
If you want to throw away something large in Japan, you need to
7-Eleven. Yeah.
Well, what you were actually supposed to do is fill out a form with the government and schedule a time for them to come and pick it up. Like, if you want to, like, how people are like, Japanese culture values their stuff so much, they'll fix it. They won't throw it away. They can't throw it away.
I was thinking, like, I just threw a bed frame out, like,
yeah, you better fix it. There are no trash cans.
Yeah.
There are not even at houses.
Yeah.
There are mesh bags. Not even at houses.
Like, did you have a trash can at where you stayed? I
had a trash can I had a waste basket.
A waste basket.
Yeah. There are mesh trash bags out front of every house so that the animals don't rip apart the bags.
Okay.
And you can fill them with bags.
Yes.
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 I was immersed in the culture. Yeah. There were in my check-in notes for my apartment, it said, if you abandon luggage, it will be 5,000 yen per piece.
Oh my God.
Because you'll buy too much stuff.
Yeah.
Not only that, like, I could have got Liz is furious with me. I could have got Pokemon luggage, and we meant to go back and get it for like $14 USD. And it was like the shell case, like nice luggage.
Yeah. And
I'm like, we were packed with stuff already. And I'm like, we'll come back another day. And then we forgot. We're gonna have to get it next trip. But yeah, like, they had Pikachu and everything on it. It was incredible. So what was I? Oh yeah. So I went, he asked me how's your trip? What have you been doing? And I showed him like photos from botanical gardens and stuff like that. Liz said I better get it or we're getting divorced. And then I was telling him, like, yeah, it's like so exciting. Like, even the card differences between America and here. Like, I found those Mickey Mouse promos for 660 yen, and in America they're $40.
Yeah.
And he's like, I have some stores that are my favorite stores to go to. He's like, let me send you a message. I'll send you the stores. He's like, they had some. So he sent me a message with the stores and everything. And we had a great conversation. We went inside, we got our stuff, we went our separate ways. I sat down, and then I met Jordan from UK, and we had been talking on Twitter because we were both going. And I was shockingly surprised. One of my friends, Mark from Florida, was there. Not Mark Landers, a different Mark. And I had no idea he was coming. That was an amazing surprise. Like, I haven't seen him since DLCs, and I'm used to seeing him at every DLC, Yeah. He also spoke Japanese. Very helpful. Announcements. What'd they say? So, and Jordan also spoke Japanese. So, I thought this was just fantastic. Like, it sounds stupid, but like, me from the United States, Jordan from the UK, meeting for the first time in Japan, because of a trading card game.
Yeah.
Like, people don't understand the impact of trading card games on people's lives.
Yeah.
And it's incredible. It's honestly an incredible thing in the world, you know? So yeah. Oh, I gotta click back on. That's Frank. Frank was great. Frank sheltered me. Liz was jealous. He asked for a photo, and I was like, yeah, if I get a photo with you too. He's like, absolutely. I said, you're gonna be in a video. Yeah, so there's my friend Mark.
Yeah.
I tried getting photos of everyone that I had known, like, going into the event.
Yeah.
There was Mia, who also, she lives in Japan. She was able to translate a lot for me when people wanted to have conversations with me, which was super helpful.
Well, that's nice.
Yep. And yeah, there's Jordan. So me and Jordan were worried. We both started off 4-0.
Yeah.
And we were sat next to each other 3 rounds.
Oh boy. Yeah.
And unfortunately, Jordan took a loss in round 5, and I had won round 5. So the only solace was, like, we didn't have to play each other.
Yeah.
But yeah. So let's cut back to us real quick before I talk about this photo. Yeah. So round 1, I sit down and I have to play a woman, and she's playing Amber Steel. And I was obviously just more experienced. She went first. Tom did not get into the event. So yeah, we did talk about Tom a little bit, but
now,
Tom did not get
just because I don't want to forget to ask the question. Like, Tom didn't get in the event, Vo didn't get in the event. Were they allowed into the event hall at all, or no?
No.
Okay. Gotcha.
The only way for anyone to get into that event was to get a badge snuck to them.
Gotcha.
I'm not saying anyone did that.
Okay.
But yeah, we were at dinner with Tom the night before, and, like, he was trying to get a grasp on, like, how these events go, because it's his first card game and stuff like that. And I was explaining how things are in America and stuff. And he had told me, like, people are going to be really nervous playing me because people are really nervous playing him until he starts speaking Japanese and they realize that, like, he's from Japan. But yeah, so round 1, I had to play her. She played turn 1 Robin Hood. I played turn 1 Cinderella. And turn 2, she did not quest with Robin Hood. So, and this is something I see with a lot of players that don't know all the cards. And they have, like, a fear of, like, what if? Like, what if I don't know about, like, a rush character or something like that? Yeah. So I ended up winning. She was a little nervous to play. I could tell because she asked if I spoke Japanese, and I did not. So she motioned that she wanted to use a deck divider that she had in her deck box to signify whose turn it was. Like, she put it on my playmat and I put it back on her playmat. But then when she realized that all the words were the same, she put it away and felt better. Like, when I said go and she understood what I was saying, she was just like, oh, okay. And she put that thing away. So, and we were talking a little bit afterwards because we were playing the same deck. And then round 2, I had to play a woman, and she was on Ruby, Emerald evasives, and she had, like, locations and stuff like that. So I actually reminded her of her location lore every turn. And that was the only lore that she gained because, like, I had a turn 1 Cinderella. So I won 20 to, like, whatever her location lore was, and I just ignored her locations, obviously. Round 3, I had to play a woman. And at this point, I realized, like, I didn't think anything of it, and I'm like, I just played a woman 3 times in a row. So I'm looking around the room.
How many times literally in your life can you say, I went to a card tournament and played a woman 3 rounds in a row?
First time ever.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Since I was 8 years old.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I look around the room. It's like 25% women, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Coming from, like, the sausage fest that we have, like, I thought it was great. And I think that goes back to the culture. Like, way earlier, I said, like, we'll talk about more of the culture of card games. I think it's just the culture of, like, everyone plays card games.
Yeah.
In Japan. And it's not something seen as nerdy or a men's thing or anything. And I thought that was fantastic for the game. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Yeah, so I end up starting off 5-0. So I'm guaranteed a let it go. And I am in the upper echelon of people that could be 5'2" that would still make top cut. There ended up only being 2 people that were 5'2" and made top cut. I could have been one of them. So I felt pretty good. I felt really good about winning a Let It Go, considering I thought I might get disqualified round 1. And was fully willing to be disqualified round 1. I wouldn't have even put up an argument.
Yeah.
I would have been like, okay, Liz, take the train to this station. I'll be there.
Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah. So around round 4, me, Jordan, and like all the other people that I knew were all meeting up every round to talk about how things were going and everything. Around round 4, there was an employee from Ravensburger there who lived in Japan. And he wanted to talk to all of us. And then there were a couple of military people there as well who were stationed in Japan. And I was talking to them in between rounds. And the Ravensburger employee gave his business card to the military people and was like, let me know how things are going in your prefecture, because they came like very far away to play. And, you know, he thanked us all for being there. And then he got the attention of the organizer of the entire tournament. And he was an ex-Magic pro. And then this is where I'm going to go on the tangent of, if you have been wasting your time posting about how I shouldn't be there and stuff like that, you have literally ruined and wasted time of your life. Because I was reflecting on these moments and stuff while I was in Japan. I was debating if I should even be there or not. And now I can like stone cold say that you are absolutely wrong, and that you need to just never look at another one of our posts ever again on social media. The tournament organizer specifically shook all of our hands and said, thank you so much for taking the time and taking the trip to be here. And we are absolutely thrilled that you are all here. And that felt fantastic. You know, Rochelle's never come up to me and thanked me for being at a DLC. Happy birthday, Rochelle.
Happy birthday, Rochelle.
You know, so that felt absolutely fantastic. And
I'm sorry. Ryan Miller actually has thanked me for coming to a DLC. So maybe not be Rochelle, but Ryan Miller at least did.
Steve is much nicer to me than Ryan.
It was just too easy to do it. Sorry.
What's it called? Yeah. So I should also mention a lot of the people, more than I expected, a lot of the people that were at the set championships and all of my opponents up until this point checked in on me between every round and asked how I was doing and talked to me. And many people thanked me for coming. Many Japanese players said that they were happy that they wanted to play against some of the best in the world. And I thought that was fantastic. We've had some in the comments tonight for this stream, and I appreciate all of them. My name was on the back of my shirt. So I gained 42 Twitter followers while in Japan. Like, I don't keep track of that. I have the Twitter just so that people can interact with me. And I just kept getting alerts, and it was fantastic. I just thought it was awesome. I messaged you and I said, like, could we get more subscribers? It was so funny. One person that Googled me showed me on my phone a picture of me and Baker. I was like, you know him? He's a commentator. Like, they've watched commentary, you know? So that was cool. Picked up a loss round 6 against Ruby Amethyst again. I ended up going like 5-3 against Ruby Amethyst over the weekend, and every game was so close. And all of them that I lost, I was on the draw. But what's it called? Yeah, so I'm on the bubble for round 7, and again, all of my opponents have been fantastic up to this point. And that ends here. Round 7, I sit down to play my opponent, and I'm shuffling for 10 minutes because they're doing all the announcements, riffle shuffling, all that stuff, normal shuffling, and we have to say good luck and bow. We say good luck. I put the deck down. My opponent rolls his eyes, pulls out his phone, and takes uses the QR code to call a judge. And the judge comes over, and I can't understand what he's saying, but he's motioning that I riffle shuffled my cards. And the judges at this point, they all know me. They were all watching my games, not to like see if I was like cheating, but I think in like amazement. And like people are taking photos of my notepads. People thought it was so interesting. My ink was in front, stuff like that. Best one I thought was great. So that was a comment, by the way. Sorry. So yeah, so the head judge comes over and he speaks English, and I'd already talked to him a couple times that day. Like literally just like thanked him for being there and stuff like that earlier in the day. So the head judge says he's saying you did not shuffle right. I say, yeah, I could tell. I was like, do you want to watch me shuffle? And he's like, yes. So I said, okay. So I do this seven or so times. I do this 7 or so times. I said, and then I give him my deck, and then he can shuffle it. The head judge goes like this. It felt so good. It was like, suck it, nerd. Like it was great. So the guy just cuts the deck after that.
Yeah.
So everyone table shuffles. No, I don't know if it's like cringe thing, riffle shuffling, or I don't know if it's because cards are too thick. It was difficult to riffle shuffle, and I was trying not to bend the cards, so I was doing it gently. But like, no one riffle shuffles. People were recording me riffle shuffling. Table shuffle is where you put them in piles, 6 piles, and then you pick them up, and then they do the Yu-Gi-Oh overhand, and then hand it to you. And in America, it's not allowed. So I destroy him in about 2 minutes. He's playing Emerald Amethyst. It's a bye. After the game, I say, good game. And he goes and walks away. And it felt so good. Like, there have not been many people that I have played in games that I have wanted to dominate, and he was one. Yeah. And that felt great. So I'm in top cut at this point, but it's 25-minute rounds. I won in like 2 minutes. I go find Mia, and she is with her friends, some of which went to the set championships and didn't get to play. One was named Ron. I have a photo of her. First of all, so this was my round 1 opponent at set championships. He was the one that was checking in on me all day.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. I only got photos. I think I said this already. I only got photos of people if someone was there to take my photo as well, like Mia or someone. I didn't want to bother people. He actually left the venue and came back to see how I did. And specifically said, like, he came back because he wanted to take a photo with me. And he specifically asked me to walk across the room to this Whole New World banner.
Nice.
To take the photo. Like, I hope every time I go to Japan, I see this man.
Yeah.
And then his girlfriend also wanted to take a photo with me. So that was awesome. So here's Ron, who I'm playing against on the left.
Okay.
You could see this crowd of people. This crowd of people was after the judges had come over and asked everyone to disperse because everyone wanted to watch and record and take photos, and everyone was like really excited to see, which was awesome. A lot of people are now standing behind me. Also, I wish Mia took a photo like immediately, but what she ended up doing, she was like, what's happening? Let me put us back up. We're getting surrounded by people, and she's like, what's happening? And I said, this is normal. It's okay. She FaceTimed Tom. She goes, Tom, look at all the people. And he's like, what is happening, Dick? I was like, we're playing a game.
Yeah.
People started lining up to play against me, which is what I've been begging Ravensburger to let me do for over a year now. I'm like, just send me to events to play people.
Yeah.
And I will do it, you know?
Yeah. No one wants to play against Sam or Entian. All right. Let them play against
They don't know who they are. Forbidden Mountain. Yeah.
Shout out to Sam. Shout out to Entian. Love you guys.
So we play and like everyone like she was playing Emerald Amethyst. I dominated the game.
Yeah.
No one concedes either.
Yeah.
Like they have nothing in play, no cards in hand, and you're gonna quest for 30.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but it was a ton of fun. She thanked me. She even reached out on Twitter and was like, she said it translated to like, I know you were busy, thank you, basically. I couldn't play any more games with anyone because I had to go to the Top Cut, but I did sign cards for people and took photos of people and stuff like that. It was awesome, honestly. People were thanking me for being there. It was so cool. Let's go. All right, back to this screen. So I played Top Cut. This is what I won. Mm-hmm. This was also just someone on the railing. Let's go back to us real quick. So I make it to top 64. I'm 24th place. So I get to go first round of top 64. I sit down and my opponent comes over and he empties his book bag and he doesn't have a deck, which is not good, obviously. Yeah. I'm thinking like, this is so messed up. Like, God, I'm going to feel terrible. Next time we need to like have like a Bick Durns meetup at a store or something, because it was so much fun playing everyone. So I feel bad and I'm like, go find your deck. He doesn't speak English at this point. At this point, he does not speak English. Okay. I'm like, go find your deck. He calls over a judge and explains he doesn't have his deck. So they let everyone else start playing instead of like waiting for us. And we're just going to get a time extension. And he goes to Lost and Found and his deck is there. And he comes back and I was like, awesome. He sits down and he looks at the judge and he says, he can't speak Japanese. I sit there. I'm worried for this man.
Yeah.
I'm like, please take all the time you need to go find your deck.
Yeah.
And he's trying to get me disqualified.
Yeah.
Can you believe this? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I didn't even have like a rebuttal.
Yeah.
The judge says, just play.
Yeah.
Like, again, all the judges like knew me at this point,
Yeah.
So yeah, we start playing. My handshake, obviously. I have essential tremors. My opponent had essential tremors that round too. This is how he played.
Yeah.
Well, sucks to suck. Dominated him. Thanks, man. Enjoy your Cinderella. There's the door. Like, I'm nothing but respectful all day. But like, as soon as you try this stuff, it's like, come on. Like, you made top 64, beat me, Yeah. So
there's that David Nunes attitude.
Seriously.
Love it.
We weren't in an excluded room. They put up railings. So like poker tournaments have rails.
Yeah.
And like people rally around.
Oh, you weren't there. Very similar to NACC. It was like the competitive area was very viewable, but it was boxed off.
Okay. Yeah, that's how Magic events are too, so people can actually watch.
Yeah.
So My rail was packed, which was awesome. Like so many people were rooting for me. It was great. People I'd never even met, you know. And the person that was on Sapphire Steel, this is the point where I met him. He thanked me for telling him where the stores were, and he told me he only had 3 popsicles. He was vanquished in top 64, so I believe I was the last foreigner in the tournament. So top 32, I play against the number 9 seed, so I'm on the draw. And first thing he does is call a judge. And he asked the judge, can you check his deck to see if all the cards are Japanese? Like, you think I made top 32 and no one all day has called a judge on me for my English cards? So the judge says, no. Yeah, so he's on the play. My turn 1, I ink a card, I play a card. He's like, judge, my ink is in the front. I go, whatever, dude. And I switch. Yeah, so long story short, my hand was absolutely terrible. I end up getting in a position where I am at 18 with 2 flutes in play and a whole new world in my hand. I'm at 16. I play a song, go to 18. My last card's a whole new world. He's playing Ruby Amethyst. I say go. He has 2 cards. Draws. Ink, goat, fox, goat. Exactly 11 ink. Exactly fox, goat to go to 20. And yeah, so if I was on the play, maybe I win. Because if he said go, I have lethal, you know. But whatever. I got so much further than I ever expected to get. I expected to get kicked out round 1 going into the event. So I was thrilled, obviously. I was also disappointed, obviously. Like, you can't lie. I'm 1 turn away plus 1 round away from their world championships. I ended up finding that opponent on Twitter, and around that time, yes. So I think the proper way of playing Disney Lorcana is that you put the ink in the front and your cards in the back. That way, when I put my hand down, I don't accidentally put it in my inkwell. I should say, one of my opponents, one of the women that I played, she was toast. She could not win, but she was trying everything. And she was mapping everything out. She would put like 4 ink to the side and then put a card from her hand like sideways on top of her ink and stuff like that. And she's like trying to figure out, this is what I'm going to do. I let her take like a 10-minute turn because as soon as they call time, I win. I have flutes in play and I have a song in my hand and I'm at 19. And she kept apologizing and I was like, it's okay. It's honestly okay. But, you know, that's one of those things where there could be a mistake. And that's why I put the ink in the front. I'm not going to accidentally put my hand in my ink. I'm not going to accidentally pick up a card from my inkwell, you know? So anyway, yeah, he ended up tweeting something that translated to the effect of like, basically like he thought he was like really good and then he got lucky and now he feels more humble, something like that. And it lined up around when he played me. So that felt good if it was about me because he barely won, you know, but whatever. What's it called? I come out of the tournament and there were people on the rail waiting to take photos with me, which was great. I only got a photo with this gentleman, and that's because Mia happened to walk up when he wanted a photo. Simulation confirmed. I don't know if you could tell. This Pinocchio is signed.
Is it signed by you?
It is signed by me. It is a foil Japanese promo Pinocchio. You got one for free if you tweeted with the hashtag Grand Prix Tokyo, you know.
Did you do that?
I did not. I was busy winning all day.
Okay.
I didn't want. There was a line. I didn't want to end up like missing a round or something.
Sure.
So this is like my most signed card from this set, and I carry signed versions of these on me. So I'm like, dude, this is simulation confirmed moment. You know.
Yeah.
And that's the end of the Grand Prix. I won these promos, and yeah, I was thrilled. If Liz did not come with me, this would pay for the whole trip, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
Many people in the room asked me if I would be back for the next one, and like wished me to come back for the next one, which was awesome. It felt great. I said it earlier, but I'm like, since they're so close together, I'm going to apply for a ticket, and if I get a ticket, then I will probably go back. But we have Gen Con and we have PPG and we have all kinds of stuff going on around the same time.
Yeah, there's a lot. July ended up being a much busier month than I expected.
Yeah. So that I felt bad because it was pretty late. But I basically had to go because Liz was like off by herself all day alone.
Yeah.
And I wanted to spend time with her. So the next day we went to a mall that had a Pokemon Center. And they had life-size Pokemon.
Yeah, that is gorgeous.
I know. How trash would this be? Like, it would say, like...
Again, it would have your name on it. I don't know how many times I have to keep making this joke, but it would have your name on it.
Yeah, it's insane. These were absolutely gorgeous. We bought some stuff at the Pokemon store, and the employee asked us, I'm not going to a 3K in Austin that I know of. An employee asked us what our favorite Pokemon was. And I said Squirtle. She didn't know the names in English.
Yeah. This made me laugh the other day. Because it's crazy to think that obviously they live there. Like, I totally get it, but it still doesn't process in my brain that like they don't know. It's like, what? Like,
yeah.
How do you not know?
So she was like, "Can you show me a photo?" And I grabbed a Squirtle, and I showed her, and then she told me the name. So that was awesome.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next is I went to the Shin-Chan store. This is my favorite anime.
Okay, I don't know what it is. Sorry.
Yeah, I couldn't believe how popular it was there. I saw Shin-Chan stuff everywhere.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I love Shin-Chan. If you're into South Park, you would probably like Shin-Chan. Not as raunchy, obviously. It's not made in America, but it is similar humor at some points. That's the only thing that I could equate it to that people might know if they don't know Shin-Chan. It was so funny. When I met Skinner, he was like, "Are you into anime?" I was like, "No."
Yeah.
I was like, "Wait, I love Shin-Chan." He goes, "That's a huge turn to say no and then be like, I love Shin-Chan."
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a whole store dedicated to it across from the Pokemon Center. This is Shin-Chan himself.
That guy looks familiar.
I was super excited to go in here.
Before. Yeah, okay. I've seen these little dudes before.
So I didn't want to buy anything here because it was so expensive. It was in a mall.
Does that sign say don't touch this?
What?
Does that sign say don't touch this?
Yeah.
It looks like he's trying to give me a high five, though. Like, what if I want to just high five him?
A kid walked by and smacked this bun that was hanging here on a rope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Kids are the best.
I ended up going to a thrift store and finding some Shin-Chan stuff to bring home.
Okay.
So,
that's good.
You know me. I'm thrifting anywhere I go. Here was the trash can at the Disney or at the Pokemon Center.
That's great.
How awesome is this?
That's awesome.
And then this serves tea.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Sinus tea. If you order a tea, it will pour out of there. It was like $10 for a tea. I was not buying it. I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, we were in the tourist trap areas, so they had all these banners that like you could take photos in front of. They had life-size versions.
Oh, that's the Pokemon trainers from Pokemon Go.
Yeah, that was awesome. Here's your favorite wall in the whole mall.
Look how cute the little Eevee is on the bottom there. She's adorable.
Yeah. I did not go in the actual Pokemon Center. I went in right across the hall. There was a card shop version. Like
Okay.
this one had like all the toys. It
Yeah.
was mobbed. It was insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is just so
Almost
adorable.
come on. Hmm.
And then they had this. I think this is Smeagol. Right? Or
That's funny.
Sme-
Yeah. It's me.
Yeah. That was pretty awesome.
Ooh.
And Liz's favorite. Yeah, you can also see in the back right, they had
Pidgey?
every
Oh.
Pokemon.
I don't see a Pidgey on that.
No, she loves Gengar.
Oh, okay. I'm a big Mischievous fan too.
They had wallpaper in the actual store of every Pokemon from every single different generation.
Generation.
Yeah. So I thought this was just absolutely gorgeous. Here's the Disney store.
This is where you bought your backpack.
Yes. Rest in peace to
I can't.
American Disney
I
store.
don't even know how I'm gonna find you anymore.
Well, no, I mean I'm only 6 feet tall with bright blue hair, but
Yeah, no, it's the pink. It was always the pink backpack, bro. Like,
yeah. So okay, so I was told speak broken English
right.
if I wanted to ask something with like a little like and stuff like that at the end,
Sure.
and people understand me. So I go in the Disney store and I start speaking broken English to the employee.
Right.
And she just goes, "Yeah, the backpacks are right over here." Like, you couldn't cut me off earlier.
He's like, yeah, whatever, loser.
Yeah, like God, I'm like, I feel so stupid right now.
It's so good.
I didn't make that mistake again.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, it was our second to last day there, but I didn't make that mistake again.
That's funny.
We went to a restaurant in a tourist area, and the first thing I said is English,
Yeah.
and the guy goes, "Yeah, I can speak English." I was like,
Nice.
I said, "Dude, thank God, because I sound like a moron in this country." He just died laughing. Like, it was awesome. But yeah, like I should have known, like it's a tourist mall. Like
Yeah.
they had so many stores. It was unbelievable. They had an entire Thomas the Tank Engine store where you could like ride Thomas around the store and stuff like this. There were kids in there. I didn't want to take a photo.
Yeah.
There were just like so many different themed stores were in this place. It was like its own little theme park. So that was awesome.
Nice.
Let's see. There was a Studio Ghibli store right next to the Disney store. I am personally not attached to Studio Ghibli, but I know many of our viewers are. So, like, I wanted to get a photo of this. Absolutely gorgeous. This was in the Bandai store.
Okay.
Yeah. What was insane about the Bandai store was this slide. At any point in time, you could go to this Bandai store and learn how to play One Piece.
Sure.
Like the employees will. This is like a setup at PAX Unplugged.
Yeah, literally. Like that's
Except
just
it's a store in a mall.
That's crazy.
I know. Could you imagine if Disney Lorcana had this somewhere?
Oh yeah, I don't even know where they would have it, but yeah, that's crazy.
I'd come out of retirement.
Yeah,
I'll work there.
Yeah.
Yeah, this was just from the side view. Like the theming is just unbelievable. This was an L shape. There was about 50 people in here playing in a tournament.
Yeah.
Stores have tournaments every single day.
Yeah.
All day in all different games. The most common I saw was One Piece. The second was Pokemon. Third was Yu-Gi-Oh! And then fourth was like all the random anime games. I only went to the one Disney and I got kicked out. So I only saw that one.
Yeah.
Let's see. This was also in the Bandai store. Just like
nice.
Yeah, absolutely gorgeous. It said photo okay, by the way. I don't know if people saw that on the left side. Yeah. So I really do think that there are some kind of privacy laws. That you can't just take photos of random people, but more like Gundam type stuff. Like this Bandai store is insane. This was in the This here was in the airport.
Oh, okay.
Not only like the airports were more expensive for like vending machines and stuff, but it's funny because it was like $1.70 to get a Coke. And then I landed in Dallas and it's like $7.
Okay.
Like it's insane the difference. Oh, here's the beef bowls. I knew I had them on here. Liz was yelling at me earlier for not showing it. So
that looks like a full-on meatloaf right there.
That's Hamburg steak.
Okay.
Which is basically just a hamburger cooked in gravy.
Okay.
These bowls total for both of us about $7 USD.
Crazy.
This was breakfast one day.
That's crazy. That's your breakfast? Jesus.
Yeah. So I ended up getting the pork curry with Hamburg steak on the side, and it has cheese on it. Like everything at this restaurant has cheese on it.
Yeah.
And then she got what would basically be a Philly cheesesteak rice bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, and then this was Confucius at the first shrine that we saw.
Yeah.
So you see how big he was. And that's everything.
That's it. That's all of Tokyo, Japan.
That is everything I got to experience. When you exchange, everything in Japan is so cheap. Not only this, remember James is going to get me yen at the bank.
He didn't do it.
Oh, he went to do it and he called me. He's like, bruh, it was $80 to get like $400 of yen. Okay. For a fee. I went to the ATM. It was $4 to get $400 of yen. And that was just the ATM fee. Not only that, I was in...
It's probably because you were in North Carolina and they don't even have yen there. Like, why would they have yen there?
Well, the bank orders it, you know. He has a national bank. But not only that, I had to work hard to spend that cash. Yeah. I had to stop using my credit card places because I wasn't going to like remote areas. Like a lot of Japan is cash only, but I was in the heart of Tokyo. Yeah. And the only places that were cash only were really small businesses. So yeah, I didn't want to come home with a ton of yen. I'll just get more next time I go. Yeah. So I started actually just spending the cash. Also, they have like tax-free shopping. Like Tom was making a big deal about it. All stores that had it had giant signs, tax-free shopping here. It's a waste of time. You have to like declare that stuff and whatnot. And the fact that it's only 10% tax when you're essentially saving 30% on everything. Yeah. Not only that, like all the cards and stuff that I bought, I'm going to resell here. Yeah. So I'm writing all that off on my taxes anyway. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. Yeah. Yeah. So, and it's not like 10% of what the full price would have been in America. So it ends up to us feeling like significantly less than 10%. Yeah. Getting back into America, I have global entry and I finally got to use it and it was fantastic. I walked into Dallas. And there were global entry machines. I walked up, it took a photo of me. I got in a line and they yelled out, Richard Burns. I'm like, grandfather's not here. I guess I'll come. So I walked right through the line and the guy goes, have a good day. They didn't ask me a single thing. I didn't have to fill out a single form of paperwork. I had only my book bag, which is full of Ben and Melissa's stuff. And I had a suitcase, which had 4 booster boxes I'd bought, some deck boxes I bought to sell, and everything I bought at this thrift store. I went to a thrift store. Every single item was 220 yen. It's basically a dollar store. Mm-hmm. I bought Pokemon plushes with the tags from the Pokemon Center. Oh boy. I bought Disney stuff. I bought just so much incredible stuff. I bought Gundam models that were brand new. 220 yen. I'm gonna put them in my thrift store. These hillbillies down here are gonna be like, "What in tarnations is this? Mobile suit? I'm gonna put my hamster in there." But no. So yeah, I just walked right in the airport. Didn't have to fill anything out. Didn't have to declare anything. There was someone in front of me with 10 suitcases on a trolley that
Holy
just walked right in because they had global entry as well. They clearly were buying stuff to resell. Like,
yeah, they
tons of
clearly
stuff.
smuggled.
Yeah. What's it called? Shipping back to America also would have been no problem. I
Yeah.
found the rates. So my entire suitcase weighed 18 pounds.
Mm.
It's a huge duffel bag.
Yeah.
If I wanted to ship that back to America, it would have only been like $100. Like, it was not a big deal whatsoever. So I bought a little bit of everything, and things that sell well when I go back, I will buy a lot more and I will ship them back home, because at the end of the day, I can't afford to be going to Japan 5 times a year. But if I can make a business trip out of it, I can go.
Yeah.
So, whew, that was a marathon.
Yeah, 3:15 simulation confirmed. That's my birthday. Screw your A24 tonight. But it is long. I do have work in the morning, so we are gonna say goodbye. But thanks for everyone hanging out with us and chatting about Japan. The trip was awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you all so much.
I heard a little bit about it on testing night on Tuesday, but this was some more fun, more fulfilling. There will be more videos that come out about this. Like I said, Dick had a whole vlog. Did you do Set Champs and Grand Prix or just Set Champs?
I did both.
Okay, so there'll be a whole vlog about just kind of all of that, which will be really interesting. I have not watched any of the videos yet myself, so I will be entertained as well. But
yeah, probably more boring than this, but more informative. So
yeah, we'll see. But yeah, so that's gonna be it for us for tonight. We'll be back Sunday for the encounter stream. I will be able to attend this week as opposed to last weekend where I couldn't. So I'm excited to get out the encounter and hang out, get ready for PPG Summit. More on that coming very, very soon. Very, very excited for PPG. This is obviously, we have a whole interview about it, like everything that's going on with them and that whole tournament circuit. If you want to check that out, that's a great piece of information, and there's only more coming. If you're watching live right now, there's actually I'm pretty confident it's either tomorrow or Saturday, another announcement about Texas in general that is actually insane. So be ready for that announcement to go out. We'll be sharing it on our socials. But yeah, definitely excited. So thank you so much for telling your story tonight, Dick. A shout out to Jorge, who came in, talked about the UK Game Expo a little bit. You were great as well. And we will, we'll be back and we'll catch you guys in the next one.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you later.